Welcome to Chandler, Arizona. It's a packed house tonight here at Hamilton High School. It's a battle of ranked teams. The Hamilton Huskies play host to your Highland Hawks. Along with Peyton Gallagher, I'm Allie Skull, and it's a packed house here at Hamilton High School. A battle of ranked teams, number 18 and number 9 going head-to-head on Friday Night Lights. Peyton, it's good to have Friday Night Lights back as the Highland Hawks come in looking to go 2-0 on the season.
Yeah, Alex, it was a fun game last week for Highland against Alhambra as they routed them 52-0, but we didn't really get to find out much about this team that we don't have any answers regarding their status coming into the year. They lost all those starters, only returned 3 guys who played meaningful starts during the season. Those guys played about 5 snaps last week before being pulled from the game. This week, a stout challenge, the best game in the Valley this weekend. It's going to be an awesome contest. I'm very much so looking forward to it.
Lots of intensity in this game last year. There was a drone that derailed the game. They had to delay it last year in this big game between Highland and Hamilton. It was Highland's first victory last year since 2004. There was 14 years between wins, and a really huge job by the Highland Hawks last year to come out with a victory.
Yeah, Coach Farrell came in here and he changed the entire mentality of this program, and that was evident. They hadn't played Hamilton for a couple years since Farrell had got here to Highland. Farrell took advantage of his opportunity when he finally got a chance to break this streak. It had been, I believe, 8 consecutive losses to Hamilton before that. Now, Highland's got a chance to go on the road and compound what they did last year and really jumpstart their season and start the year the right way at 2-0.
They'll be looking to go 2-0 tonight with their quarterback, Gage Daly, and it's just about time that we bring in the third member of our crew, Jack Johnson, who's standing by sideline. Jack, what you got for us?
Hey, guys. You know, the matchup to watch tonight will be number 2 on the Hamilton side, Brendan Rice. Brendan Rice has gotten a lot of looks. He's one of the best wide receivers in this entire state. He'll be going up against number 23 for Highland, Jay Sean Lee. I talked to one of the defensive leaders before the game, Cam Collimore. He said they expect Jay Sean Lee to go pretty much ISO against Rice the whole game. So one of the best covered corners in the state going up against one of the best wide receivers in the state. This is a matchup to watch and something to get anticipated about. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Jack. We'll be back in with Jack throughout the game as we get ready and set for kickoff here at Highland and Hamilton coming at you tonight right on the Highland Hawks TV network. Peyton, we've got a good one coming, and it's going to be important for Highland to establish that ground and pound offense that they had last week. And in the game last year, Daniel Wood rushed for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns for your Hawks, and they won 49-28 last season against the Hamilton Huskies.
Yeah, Alex, Wood had his best game of the year last year. He was one of the main cogs coming back into this season and back into this fold as he was a feature back in this offense. Now, not the starter, that was Connor Collimore, but now Wood has taken over that role. It's his time to shine, and he had a great game last year against these same Huskies. Hamilton's going to come out, at least from what I've gathered on film, in a 44 personnel. That means 4 down linemen and 4 linebackers. But what they do that's exotic, Alex, is a lot of the time they like to play close to the line. They like to play you head up. There are times where you will see this team with all 11 defensive players on the field lining up pre-snap within 5 yards of the football. I've never seen anything quite like it in all of my years watching this game. I'm fascinated to see how it works out tonight.
And we're just awaiting the captains and the coin toss. You see the captains for your Highland Hawks awaiting to go onto the field on the right side of your screen. Is Highland starting outside linebacker Robert Kingsford, the 5'11 senior, can bench 245, Peyton, and he's got a lot of strength in the middle of the defense for Highland.
Alex, it may be their strongest point when you look at it across the board. You've got all these great players. Yes, again, you're replacing starters, but with Noah Brown out, guys have had to step up. Jackson T-Walt was one of those guys that Coach Farrell talked about coming into the year. He transferred in heading into this last season, but he's really endeared a lot of the respect of his teammates, and he was a stand-up performer in the last game against Alhambra.
And behind right there is Noah Boone, number 78, the nose tackle and guard, junior, 6'2". He's got a lot of speed, a lot of size as well up there for Highland. We got the coin toss being pumped through the loudspeakers here at Hamilton High School. It's an away game today for the Highland Hawks. Lots of H's between these two schools, the Highland Hawks and the Hamilton Huskies. And you see the stands filling up behind. The teams will shake hands. Highland will face to the right of your screen. They will go that way, and Hamilton will go to the left as they're pumping up the crowd, and the student section is sitting to our right. You'll get a lot of the background audio coming into your headsets, whatever you're using to listen to this game. 12 minutes are on the clock as the sun sets over the north and the southeast valley tonight. It's a great atmosphere for high school football. We are glad you are with us here on the Highland Hawks TV network. Now we're going to go down to the third member of our crew once again, Jack Johnson. What you got, Jack?
Well, guys, the atmosphere around me right now is electric down on the field, but one thing tonight is the rise of Gage Daly. He didn't have to perform a lot. 21-0 before the first minute was out. Tonight's going to be a lot tougher test, and Coach Brock Farrell said so. So expect to see a lot more of Gage Daly. Coach Farrell still said it's going to be 60-40 run, but that 40% is going to be key if Highland's going to get a victory on the road tonight. Back up to you guys for the start of the game.
Yeah, we're just about set for kickoff. Thank you again, Jack, for your reporting out on the sideline, and we'll check in with Jack periodically throughout the game. Injury updates, whatever you need. What do you think, Peyton, though, is going to be the biggest key for Highland here to come out with a victory?
You got to ground and pound, establish the run. That's exactly what they did a year ago. They exploded for 35 points in the second quarter of that game and put it to bed early on. It's not going to be that easy this time around on the road. Hamilton's got a great team this year. For them, though, they got to establish themselves in the trenches and show everybody in attendance here wearing maroon that they are here to play.
Jackson Ray will kick it off for the Highland Hawks, and it is away and will be fielded in the end zone for an automatic touchback, fielded by one of Hamilton's best, Brendan Rice, the 6'3" senior wide receiver. And the Huskies will start from their own 20.
Good tackle there by Highland as they rush down. They have been excellent on special teams all year, Alex, and that was a big factor the last time they played these two teams. There were 2 block punts in the first quarter. Now the block punt by Highland was turned over for a penalty, but it is something to note. Highland makes their money on special teams, and that could be a factor tonight.
Looks like a pistol formation for the Huskies as they come out and start their drive at the 20. A man in motion. The running back moves into the right slot. Takes the snap alone in the backfield, throws to the right side, and has his man out to the backside. Good throw by the quarterback, Nick Arvi. Gain of a couple. Second and about 4 yards.
What you'll notice here with this receiving core for Hamilton, you look at all the guys across the board. Hattendorf with the catches there. You look at Rice. A lot of these guys standing 6'1" and above.
Second and down, and a nice run, and stopped very handily by the linebacking core of the Highland Hawks. Camp Cullimore on for the tackle.
Alex, football is a game of leverage. It's decided by the low man 99% of the time. That time, Cullimore with his 400-plus pound squat was able to get lower and use those legs to drive the man to the ground. Big third down upcoming.
Third and short for the Huskies.
Watch out for Rice in the press coverage on the bottom of your screen.
The running back in motion, Lewis, to the left side of the quarterback, takes the snap. Arvi hands it off and is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Highland forces a 3-out on their first possession. And a big tackle by the linebacking core once again.
Robert Kingsford on the stop, I believe, Alex.
Kingsford, the outside linebacker. Honorable mention, all regional in 2018. Also has a lot of strength, too, to break through the line. 245 is his max bench.
One of those returners on this defense. He was going to be integral this year for this team, lining guys up from the linebacker position and making plays exactly like that. A little bit of miscommunication on the read option as the offensive players there converged on the ball, and it looked like both of them wanted to take it. Highland is very dangerous on returns.
Punt is away, nearly is blocked. Coming over, and they'll let it go. I was Tyler Crandall back there to receive for Highland. He let it go. And good field position now for the Highland Hawks as they come out.
Watch out. There's a penalty flag down, and a player ran right into the punter for Hamilton. I believe this is going to be running into not roughing, but definitely a penalty and definitely a first down, I believe, upcoming for Hamilton.
Would be a big swing. He's roughing the kicker.
15-yard penalty. That's a big blow. Just got to be more disciplined. Early on in this game, the emotions are ramped up. There's colors everywhere. It's hot here in the valley. You've got so much emotion going. You see that glimmer of opportunity to maybe make a play to change this game early on and block a punt. That time, got a little bit carried away and ran right into the punter.
And Peyton, you mentioned it was hot out here. Kickoff temperature here in Chandler is 103, and the sun has been down for a couple hours now.
They don't call it the Valley of the Sun for no reason.
They do not, Peyton. It is very hot out here, and it's important for the players and fans alike, and us broadcasters, to stay hydrated all night long. 1st and 10, though, for the Huskies. A man in motion to the right side of the line. That was the tight end, Brandon Mousen. Hands it off to the right side, trying to bounce Lewis, and is taken down. Gain of about 4 or 5 on 1st and 10.
Really nice run there by Dorman. Again, it looked like Arve didn't really want to hand the ball off on the read option. It got taken out of his hands that time. Interesting to see as we go forward throughout this game whether those plays start to synchronize throughout this one.
2nd and 4 from the 47 for the Huskies. 2 men in the backfield with the quarterback. Takes the snap screen, bubble screen to the left side, is taken down short of the first down marker. Good tackle by Daniel Wood, the two-way player. He's also the starting running back for the Hawks. Had those 2 touchdowns against Hamilton last season. Harry makes a big tackle on 2nd down, forcing a 3rd and short.
And it looks like they're actually going to move the sticks.
Sticks are moved. 1st and 10. Nice tackle again by the linebacking core. Really closed up that hole on the right side very quickly. Sebastian Dorman was the running back, the 5'9" senior.
Really nice play by Dawson White, crashing down from his corner position and mopping up what was left for him by the linebacking core of Highland.
2nd and 9 from the 46-yard line.
Wonder when we'll get Rice involved in the game. It's been a lot of outside running so far.
Play blown dead before the snap. 9:09 left in this first quarter of play. And by now, last week, if you were tuning in against Alhambra, Highland was already up 21-0. It might have been up 28 after a couple minutes. It was less than a minute played in the first game of the season against Alhambra, and Highland was already up 21-0. They took their first 5 offensive snaps, were all touchdowns. Haven't touched the ball yet. Hands off to the running back on the read option again. It is stuffed a couple yards past the line of scrimmage.
Logan Willis on the tackle, and that's kind of the calling card of this defense, Alex. All of these players are really good technically, know how to play their gap responsibility, and it makes it hard for other teams to run on them, especially when every player on this defense is coached to get to the football.
Logan Willis, the only change in the Highland starting defensive lineup from last week. Favorite class is English. That's my favorite class. Takes the snap on 39, throwing to the left side. He hit his man for a first down. Nice reception by Brendan Rice, a 6'3" senior, and he's going on to the Big Ten, most likely.
English, Spanish, German, it doesn't matter. Play like that's going to move the sticks every single time. Rice just sat down in the hole, in the zone, and a guy like that's going to catch the ball every single time when it's on the numbers like that.
1st and 10 from the Highland 29-yard line. Bouncing to the right. Try and hit the outside tackles. Falling forward for a decent gain on first down.
Been impressed with Hamilton so far. Very physical, tone-setting drive right out of the gate.
Nine-yard pickup per the public address here, and they will give them actually a 1st and 10 from the 19, so 10-yard pickup. Takes the snap, throws the bubble screen to the left, hits his man, has a nice blocker out to the outside, and he gains a nice gain again on 1st and 10. Good reception from Gavin Brady Show.
And the big receiver out there. Brendan Rice is 6'3" and 250 pounds. You saw that on that block as he manhandled the corner, pushed him out of the way, and set that screen up very nicely.
2nd and 3. Rolling out to the right side, hits the running back. Trying to bounce. Highland is on it, though. And they'll make the tackle short of the 6. No, it will be a first down.
Arve still looks a little bit discombobulated, though, Alex, inside the offense at the moment. That time, he faked the handoff, except there was no one there to accept the fake as the running back was on the left side of him. Look for him to settle down here as this game goes along. The offense still humming, though.
1st and goal from the 5 now. A big swing as Highland forced a 3 and out. Then the punt team committed a penalty, roughing the kicker. Flags blow it dead once again. Couple penalties here on this first drive for the Huskies.
Yeah, the referees had a penalty party there as it looked like just about everybody threw a flag.
So it still will be 1st and goal situation, but now from the 10-yard line.
It's a big sequence here. Highland has to stiffen in the red zone and hold for a field goal. They want to contain momentum going into the first offensive possession of the game.
Brandon Rice is the receiver to the near side of your screen, left side of your screen rather. He's the one to watch, number 2. Got a number of offers already, and is heading on to bigger things after this season. You can tell. 6'3", 215. He's got a lot of muscles. We'll see if he can pull one down here. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Takes the snap. And it's tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Excellent run D in pursuit by big Kyle Olson as he played down the line and swamped that one in the backfield. You can scrap that play. Highland has been good on a down-to-down basis so far in this game against the run. It's just stringing the plays together and making all the plays necessary to get off the field.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. Takes the snap, rolling out to the left side, looking to the back corner of the end zone, and he found it coming back, but was he in bounds? He says he was. Rice, touchdown.
Classic play-action boot to the left. Rice broke the route off, used that big frame to box a defender out. He scores his 3rd touchdown on the young campaign.
Came right back to the ball. Lost his corner and made the nice reception.
Like I said, a big tone-setting drive for Hamilton. They were not happy with how last year's game went. You could tell on that drive. Kick is up and good, and it is 7-0. For the first time in 2019, Highland will trail in a football game.
And for an update on that touchdown, the most recent touchdown for the Hamilton Huskies, rather, we'll go down to the 3rd member of our crew, Jack Johnson. Jack, what you got?
Guys, that route you just saw in the touchdown catch by Brendan Rice, that was a move popularized by Chad Johnson. Of course, he was later known as Chad Ochocinco later in his career. It's basically a move where they try and get depth into the back of the end zone and then come right to the first pylon. That's exactly how Brendan Rice did. And you can see the frustration on Jay-Sean Lee's face right in front of me. He smacked the ground with his fist. He knew it was coming. It's just hard to stop a 6'3", 215 wide receiver, guys.
Thank you, Jack, and really good job there by Brendan Rice. Jay-Sean Lee got a little caught looking there as he was coming back the Ochocinco route. And Highland will get possession for the first time tonight following the touchdown. 7-0 in favor of Hamilton. Highland's offense will take the field for the first time following the kickoff. The play has been stopped here for a couple minutes following the kickoff.
Alex, this is gut check time early on in this game. You're in a hostile environment. It's not in a position where you're do or die, obviously. There's half of the first quarter left to play. You're only down one score. But in this situation, you do risk sacrificing momentum early on. If you cannot find an answer on this drive, Highland really has to stand up here, especially since their defense was just driven all the way down the field. A long, exhausting drive. They need to buy the defenders some time to suck a little bit of wind and get their energy back before they have to come back out on the field. If anything, this drive needs to consume 3 or 4 minutes.
Colin Fuller is the kicker for the Huskies, and he will kick it away in moments. 7-0 Huskies after a half a quarter. 6:02 on the clock. Taken by Highland. There will be a return. Trying to come towards the middle, and Grendel stopped. I believe short of the 20-yard line.
Highland returned the only kick they got to receive all game against Alhambra for a touchdown. That time, though, great coverage as everybody stayed in their lane and made sure they made the play when it presented itself on the special teams unit for the Huskies.
Tyler Crandall will be out there as one of the wide receivers. Well, Highland Hawks offense is led by Gage Daly, the quarterback, number 12 on your screen. Starting running back Daniel Wood also plays on the defense. Trying to hit the quick slant route on 1st and 10. And it's incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 15. Takes the snap, hands it off. Wood bouncing. Gains a couple. It'll be 3rd and long.
Big 3rd down upcoming here. What does Highland have in the bag? The first bit of adversity for Gage Daly.
Shotgun formation for Daly. Takes the snap. Daly looking left, going through his progressions, and he is wrapped up and pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a sack for the defense of the Huskies, and Highland will have to punt it away.
Not going to speculate here on the call, but that hit was awful high, Alex. Wheeler grabbed a hold of the helmet of Daly before finally slinging him down. I'm surprised a whistle did not come there.
So it will be 4th and 12 now from the 22-yard line. And they're backed up towards their own end zone. Rather from the 13-yard line.
Watch out, Rice with his heels on the 50.
Punts it away.
Great punts.
It's a really nice punt. It takes a very friendly bounce for the Highland Hawks all the way over to the 31-yard line.
Low line drive and angled away from the returner. A perfect punt there by Jackson Ray. He got a friendly roll to boot.
Jackson Ray with a really nice punt there, and it sets up and flips the field in favor of Highland. They were not going to have great field position, at least from a Highland perspective, but they've made it a little bit better, and a nice boot from Jackson Ray. Jackson Ray, the 6', 160 junior, benches 225. That's a lot for a kicker, Peyton.
Jack of all trades. In 2019, kickers are athletes too.
Takes the snap. Barreling through the middle, gain of about 5.
Highland got a little bit too far upfield on the immediate penetration there and lost track of where the running back was. He was able to find a little hole and scurry ahead for 5.
Be 2nd and 5 from the 36-yard line for the Huskies. Pistol formation. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side.
Been coming out in this formation a lot so far.
Moves it to the shotgun, takes the snap. Looking left, coming back, 2 converging on him. but he makes the catch, and that's another good reception for Rice.
Jay-Sean Lee is doing a good job of making sure the top doesn't get taken off, but right now he's really struggling with the frame of Rice. Such a good player Rice is. He knows how to use his body. He's finding his spots, cutting on a dime, and getting back to the football so he can use those big hips and shoulders to box the defender out and make catches just like that. And now he's talking a little smack to the corner.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Pistol formation. Takes the snap. Hands off. Keeps it rather. And he goes to the right side for another gain of 5 on 1st down.
We might start to see some defensive adjustments coming here, Alex. If Highland is unable to get off the field on this sequence of downs, they're risking getting driven back deep into their own territory. And right now, what they're trying on defense is working okay. They're holding them to about 2 or 3 yards a play, but can't get off the field on 3rd down because it's 3rd and short. Right here, they have to find a way to get a spark and make a tackle for loss.
Arve motions the running back to his right, takes the snap, throws a quick bubble screen to the left side, and he's wrapped up and taken down.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, Alex. You put them in a 3rd and long, you make them work for it. Right here, this is Highland's opportunity. Expect for Rice to be the target, maybe on a comeback again. That seems to be what has worked so far for the Huskies.
Arve getting the signs. Motions one of his receivers to the right side of the line. That's Brady Show.
I think you can see a safety shadowing over the top of Rice right here.
Rice on the near part of your screen. Pistol formation into the shotgun again. Takes the snap. Arve looks over the center, and he's got his man. That was the same receiver that he motioned to the right side, and it's a 1st down for the Huskies.
Young kids, if you're watching at home, that's exactly how you do it. If you're playing quarterback, what Nick Arve just did, took guts, stood in the face of pressure, stuck his nose right in the barrel, and delivered a strike down the middle of the field after looking the defender off.
Brady showed the receiver over the middle. It was a nice play call. Brady was focused on Rice, and he cut right up the middle through the corners. Hands off on 1st down, play whistle dead.
I don't think the defense got adequate opportunity to make a substitution, or actually, I think Coach Farrell is going to blow the whistle and call a timeout here.
Yeah, his defense has failed to make a 3rd down stop for the most part. They made one of them, but were given the ball right back to Hamilton because of the punt penalty running into the kicker.
Jay-Sean Lee looks incensed over on that sideline, just looking for answers. How is he going to defend this big guy? He's going to turn to his coaching staff right here in this huddle as they try and figure out exactly what they need to do to find a way to get off the field, at least hold this Hamilton offense to a field goal try here. Try and keep themselves out of serious danger early on.
After the timeout, it'll be 1st and 10 from the Husky 34-yard line. 34 yards to go for the touchdown. 1:43 left in the 1st quarter of play here in Chandler. First and 10 from the 34-yard line. Takes the snap. Arve rolls out to the right side, looking toward a comebacker route, and he finds him.
I think that ball may have sputtered to the turf, Alex.
So incomplete on 1st and 10.
Good throw from Arve, though. Hit his receiver in the hands. Probably should have made the catch.
Both players were in motion. A nice rollout to the right side. Looked like a designed rollout, Peyton.
Yeah, and Alex, they've done that a lot today. I think with Arve being under 6 feet tall, they want to get him outside the pocket. It clears up those throwing lanes for him a little bit better.
Dorman in motion again into the shotgun formation for Arve. Takes the snap. Throwing the bubble screen to the right. We saw that a couple times. Spins off a defender and is taken down.
Great shuck out wide by Jackson Delsey, who shed his blocker to force the receiver back towards help in the middle of the field, and Kingsford cleaned it up at the end of the play, and it's a 3rd and medium, another opportunity for Highland to get off the field.
3rd and 6 from the 30-yard line. A big one for Highland just at the edge of field goal range. And if they can get off the field here, they might force a punt.
Kingsford's got a one-on-one matchup on the left.
Arve takes the snap, 3-step drop, pressure coming, throws it to the sideline and hit his man.
It'll depend on the spot.
Depends on the spot. Reception made by the Huskies, number 16, Caden Hattendorf.
It's going to be 4th down and about a football to go to get the first.
So the Husky offense staying on the field, and a big play coming with 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Alex, circle this play. This is a turning point, momentum-changing moment right now.
Fourth and inches from the 25, hands off through the middle, stuffed at the line, but he might have got enough.
Highland made the initial push. They got there in the backfield. They stopped him, but a great effort on the back end by Zachary Lewis to keep the feet churning and follow forward for the first down.
Coming quickly to the line. 1st and 10 now from the 25-yard line. Takes the snap, hands off, jet sweep left. And he's wrapped up. Wrapped up by Kingsford behind the line. He was there first. And a nice tackle for the Highland Hawks.
So impressive so far in this first half have been the outside backers of Highland. They've been crashing down, getting in the running lanes, whether it's A gap, B gap, C gap. They get outside, they get inside, they get downhill hard, make running the football very hard on this Highland defense.
Daniel Wood may have been involved as well, both the outside linebackers for the Hawks. Arve takes the snap.
Blitz
rolling
coming
out left side. He found some space. He's going to tuck it and run with it. Falls forward to sandwich, but he got enough.
Wood came on the outside backer blitz as the first quarter ends. Just couldn't quite get home, and that left a running lane as the quarterback Arve climbed in the pocket.
So another big 3rd down coming following the quarter break. At the end of one quarter, it's the Hamilton Huskies 7 and your Highland Hawks 0. Stay with us here on the Highland Hawks TV network.
So we switch ends, and the second chapter of this story is set to be read as Highland, down 7, will start the second quarter backed up inside their own red zone. Hamilton on the move. It's a 3rd down, about 2 yards to go. Line the gain, placed at the 13. Peyton Gallagher, Alex Gall on the call here on the Highland Hawk TV network. And Alex, it was a hard-hitting, physical first quarter that went in favor of Hamilton.
It was definitely in favor of Hamilton. From the get-go, you could tell they had the first step. And in spite of that first 3 and out forced by the Hawks, the defense was, for the most part, stymied, but they have a chance to make up for it here.
That big mistake by Highland, the penalty given up on the punt after the 3 and out to start the game by Hamilton.
And that may have changed the game, Peyton.
Indeed. I think you're right on the nail there. A big 3rd down coming up here. Rice is split out to the bottom of your screen. Matched up on him is Jay-Sean Lee. 2 receivers to the top of the formation. H-back to the left. Running back in the backfield is Sebastian Dorman, and the quarterback Arve will be in the gun.
There's been a number of stoppages of play so far, Peyton. After the first touchdown, it was a good 3 or 4 minute break after the extra point was kicked from Highland. The time that Highland received the ball on the kickoff.
Stop and start affair so far. Last year there were drones, laser pointers, lightning, what have you. This year it's just been hard-hitting football. Handoff, actually pulled out, bootleg, dumped into the flat, running with a full head of steam towards the goal line. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Highland in a huge break. Coughing up the ball was the running back, Gabriel Armenta, and it looks like Cam Cullimore was the one who saved the day and picked it up, but I think he may have been ruled down, and the offense for Hamilton has the day saved by the officials.
There's a flag out on the field as well at about the 15-yard line.
So a discussion will be had by the men wearing stripes on what exactly is to be done here. It again was a third down play a moment ago. If the penalty is on Hamilton, it would back them up and we'd replay third.
The play stands for some reason. It would be a first down for Highland. I don't believe he was in the end zone, but he was close.
Whole lot of stuff to dig through here. Sifting through everything that happened on that play to find the answer.
Another flag flies.
I think Hamilton will move back. I believe exactly what happened was they ruled that there was no fumble. The player was down, but a penalty had occurred earlier on the play. So a small silver lining for Highland, who thought they had come away with a big takeaway there in the red zone.
Good ball hawk by Cam Cullimore, and that's exactly what he does in his free time. He's actually a hunter, Peyton. In his free time, looked like a hunter on that play, coming up with the loose ball.
This defense is advantageous to say the least, and now Hamilton will move back even further. A second penalty flag, and I think this one will be unsportsmanlike conduct on the coaching staff of Hamilton as they chewed out the officials. Third down and an eternity.
Yeah, you can't really do that. You can't put your team in a bad spot like that if you're the coaching staff. I don't know if it was assessed to the coaching staff. They definitely looked very agitated over there on the sideline. But they've moved back about 30 yards, Peyton.
3rd and 26. Hamilton will try to just get this ball back in the field goal range, most likely.
They're at the 40-yard line now. Probably need at least 15 to set up a somewhat reasonable distance field goal.
Two receivers to each side of the formation. Running back Dormant motions up to flank Arve. It's a screen. Quickly hit outside to Zachary Lewis. He stood up, wrapped up, pops outside, back left, looking for space. Wood tries to tackle him, can't bring him down. Everybody's got a share of Lewis, and eventually he is tackled in the backfield by Amon Allen. That was dangerous for a moment as Highland struggled to tackle there, but when it was all said and done after that frantic sequence, it's going to be 4th and a millennium. Hamilton will bring on the punt unit.
Yeah, Amon Allen got the tackle, but the initial hit was made by Robert Kingsford, and he tied up the running back in the backfield, allowed the rest of his defense to come up with him, past the line of scrimmage, make the tackle in the backfield.
The speedy Tanner Crandall back to receive as he toes the 10-yard line. 4.5 speed on the senior. Punting for Hamilton will be number 87, Brody Kofal. Little bit mishandled, toe meets leather, high end over end punt that's going to take a favorable bounce inside the 20 and be touched down at the 19. So after all that hullabaloo, Highland is somehow able to avoid disaster and avoid going down by 2 scores. 7-0 as the Hawks take the football back over for their second possession of the night.
Yeah, Peyton, Highland definitely helped out there by the referees. 2 consecutive penalties that made a 3rd and short from inside the 10-yard line, a 3rd and long from their own 40.
We have played about 13 minutes of football so far here tonight. Highland has had the ball for about maybe 2 of those. Big drive upcoming for Gage Daly in this offense is handed off up the middle. Big hit, spinning off, number 27, Max Davis, and he's still pumping. Davis with a hard tone-setting run, and there's a man down behind the play for Hamilton.
Yeah, Max Davis has that good speed. He's got a really good ability to cut it back, and he did it last week when he saw him at the 10-yard line against Alhambra. Had one man to beat. He'd already run for 30 yards, but found a way to cut it back for a touchdown. Did something similar there, Peyton.
You hear about two-headed backfields. They call them thunder and lightning. This backfield is thunder and thunder. Both Wood and Davis willing to unleash a load on a defender. They'll go right back to Davis. He cuts back inside into a pile of silver domes, and he pushes the pile forward for a gain of 3. 10 minutes left here in the second quarter. If you're just now joining us, Hamilton up 7-0 after a first quarter touchdown. It's going to be a 1st and 10, or excuse me, a 2nd and about 6, but there is a penalty flag behind the play.
Highland students to our right, Peyton, chanting, "You can't do that."
Looks like a personal foul, maybe for a face mask amidst that big pileup of bodies. That ball should move forward 15 yards.
And will, as the Six move forward as well. First down for Highland.
In the last, give or take 2 minutes or so, Hamilton has surrendered 45 yards in penalties. 3 personal fouls. Daly rallies his troops to the line, split out to the right, number 2 for the Hawks, Zach Schroeder. Davis gets the ball running right with a head of steam. He falls forward, and he is like a jackhammer right now. Alex just pumping those legs and unleashing hit after hit, running the football.
Yeah, you mentioned that two-headed backfield, and they provide you similar looks, but they've got lots of energy, and the ability to switch between the two running backs gives Highland a lot of flexibility in their offense.
2nd and 4. And Davis stays in the game, so Daniel Wood getting a little breather here. He's been involved in the defensive end. Trips to the left for the Hawks. All 11 players within 5 yards of the football right here.
.17 to go in the quarter. Still lots of time for Highland to make a good drive here. And they've been helped out by Hamilton's penalties.
Daly fakes a handoff. He'll throw over the middle. Had a man! Zip tie. He was looking for the receiver, number 11, Grayson Kennedy, over the middle.
Yeah, Kennedy with just 3 receptions for 35 yards in 2018, moving into that 4th receiver slot for Highland. When they run those 4 receiver sets, you're going to see him out there. But he is the 4th one behind Crandall, Tanner, and Schroeder.
Tanner Crandall comes back into the game here for a 3rd and 4 that Highland would like to pick up. Daly with the running back on the right side on his hip.
3rd and 4 coming.
Press coverage across the board. Daly looks over to the sideline, checks the play. Play clock running down, 6 seconds left. Read option play, Wood takes it. He's got daylight, penalty flag flies. He's got the first down. This may be coming back though.
Yeah, it was thrown at about the time that a block was made. You have to think it might be an offensive holding penalty on Highland.
Another back-breaking mistake for the Hawks. It has been a sloppy game on both sides. Expected to be at this early juncture in the season with so much emotion on the line, but right now it feels like the team that executes better is going to take momentum into the locker room.
And it will be moved back 10 yards.
Huge blow for Highland, and now they are in a situation where they're going to have to, dive deep into the playbook.
Tyson Ronan, the tight end, subbed off after the last play. I think they'll put an extra receiver out there. 3rd and 12 from the 48.
Daly will drop back, 3-step drop. He's got time, unleashes over the middle. Had a man right through the hands of the intended target. That was True Tanner, the converted quarterback. He found space in the secondary, just could not make the play.
Yeah, a couple times now from Gates. He just by a hair is overthrowing his receivers. You saw it a couple times last week against Alhambra, and now a couple times it's trickling into the game here tonight.
The young sophomore coming into his first game action here during this season, replacing Herbert, who had been the quarterback of this team for the last 3 years. Tall order. He's been very good so far to this point, but today needing to tighten the screws a little bit to help his team back into the game. 4th and 12. Punt unit on for Highland. Returner for Hamilton is Cole Martin. He'll be standing around his own 13 or 14 yard line. High punt, spiraling end over end into the sky. High bounce and out of bounds. Not a great punt there by Jackson Ray, which we have come to expect from him so far, at least this season, for great punts to happen right there. Not the best, but his defense at least got a little bit of time to get on the sidelines, regroup, and figure out what they're going to do here on this next drive.
You know, it's definitely sometimes an overlooked part of the game is punting ability, but if you had a chance to watch the Arizona State football game last night, you'd realize how important punting is for a team when you can boot it 60 yards, 70 yards down the field and completely flip the field is the term that the coaches use, give the other team really bad field position.
It can be a real weapon, Alex, for a team when they are able to do exactly that. Jackson Ray at least able to get the punt away and down the field so that Hamilton has to drive the distance if they are to score here. 8 minutes and 28 seconds left, 7-0 the score of this game. It has been physical, it has been heated. A lot of emotion, a lot of tension so far in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely been different, Peyton, from last year's game between Highland and Hamilton. It was a lot more of an offensive battle last season. It was 44-21 in that game.
And in that one, Alex, Highland was able to take over in the second quarter. So far, not been the story, but they'll look to right the ship as they get their defense back out there for the third time today. Not many possessions so far in this game. Each team's had the ball twice.
Last year's game between Highland and Hamilton finished 49-28 rather. And we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast that Daniel Wood had 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. That had to have been one of his highest totals last year, as he was the third-string running back last season.
Alex, I do believe it is his career high to this point, but so far, Alex, we've not seen Wood much on the offensive end.
We have not. They've definitely been opting for more passes with Gage Daly. We'll see if that continues. And they even went to Max Davis a couple times. He arguably had more success than Wood did in the first couple series.
New quarterback in the game now, as it looks like Joshua Cochran is in the game for the first time tonight. Actually check that. That is Arve, and he hands it off up the middle. Modest gain on first down. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Highland rallying to the ball to make the stop. Man comes in motion here across the formation. Arve handles a tough snap. He's in trouble. Lost one into the secondary. It's got pulled in by Christian Anaya. That ball hung up in the stratosphere for what felt like years before Anaya leapt up in the air to snatch it. Big chunk play. And Hamilton is in business. On the 40-yard line of Highland now, they go quickly.
Yeah, just a jump ball there, and really good job from Hamilton on the execution of that one.
Read option play. Arve puts it in the gut of his running back, Gabriel Armenta, who falls forward for the first down. The chains will move again.
Lots more first downs from the offense of the Hamilton Huskies. Highland has, for the most part, been stymied on offense with the exception of just that last drive where they moved it about 50 yards.
Arve, another handoff. Actually, he'll keep it. Arve, a burst of speed up the middle. He falls close to the sticks. It'll be another first down. Check that, actually. Gavin Goulet has been the man quarterbacking this drive. I apologize. We have a tough vantage point here tonight as we are amidst the student section. Trying to place some of these numbers has been difficult as Goulet rolls left, cuts up, back up the middle. He's tackled. Nice play there. Coming back to the football by the big man. They call him Big Red, number 85, Colton Ellsworth.
Hamilton's running that little bit of a shift in that formation from pistol to gun. You see it there again.
Cutting upfield, a nice run there. Carrying the ball, Gabriel Armenta. He's chopped down at what looks like the 6-yard line. It's been chunk play after chunk play on this drive. 6 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the first half. 1st and 10. It'll actually be a 1st and goal. Armenta lined up behind the quarterback, Goulet. He'll take the handoff into a scrum, and he's brought down. Good tackling and good gap integrity right there from Highland.
Yeah, when they've been able to close those gaps, that's when they've had their most success on defense. A couple times the quarterback has rolled out, and they've tried to cover it from the outside. But when they've tried to run through the middle, if they close those gaps quickly, that's been the most important aspect of the defense for Highland tonight.
2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Armenta still the back, man in motion across the formation. Goulet rolling right. He's got time. He'll throw on the run. Player decapitated at the back of the end zone as a bunch of white jerseys converged on the man trying to make the catch. That would have been the 6'2 senior, Caden Hattendorf.
Yeah, Cam Cullimore was sandwiching the receiver of the Huskies right there, along with a couple other defenders as well. They had that read the whole way. Off the read option, he rolled out to the right side. And the linebackering core there sandwiched in the end zone. It's a small field. Backed up in the red zone. We're able to control it and get in front of it.
Lo and behold, another 3rd down. 3rd and goal this time for Goulet and this Maroon offense. Goulet will look. Left corner trying to find Rice. He goes up. He gets it. But he's out of bounds. Great coverage played by Lee.
Yeah, Deshaun Lee, what a job right there. He knew the lofted ball was coming, but exactly what he did there was exactly what you're instructed to do. You can't put your hands on the guy too much, but as he's going to the far end, you just try and push him out once he catches the ball. It's exactly what happened.
Just shepherded him to the sideline. Great coverage by Lee, and he wins that battle. A big one here in the war that's unfolding in front of us as Highland forces a field goal attempt.
Looking for the short field goal. The holder's going to be Brody Koflal.
From the left hash, it's up, and it splits the pipes. Field goal up and good, and it's 10-0 Hamilton. A big stop, though, with their backs against the wall for the Hawks.
Yeah, that was definitely the best defensive stand we've seen from the Highland Hawks today. They weren't helped by penalties this time. They were helped by the good defensive play of their linebacking core.
The linebackers crashed. They did their job, and as we head to a quick break between the kickoff and that last play, it is 10-0. 5 minutes and 22 seconds left to go when we come back here on the Highland Hawk TV network. As we come back, we'd like to say we still have a few VIP seats remaining. Not only will you get some convenient parking, great seats, but your VIP pass will also provide your free admission to home freshman and JV games. Contact Jeff Boone or visit hawksboosters.com We'd also like to say thank you to Salerno's for providing the pregame meal for our varsity players today. Back out on the field here in Hamilton territory as the Hawks have gone on the road tonight and find themselves in a 10-0 hole. You're with the Highland Hawks TV network. Peyton Gallagher, Alex Gall on the call. Hey, that rhymes. As Cochran will send it deep. Back to return for Highland is the ever-dangerous Tanner Crandall.
Yeah, Peyton, I've been careful about using that one. It feels like it could get overused very quickly.
Maybe
There's
a little
Alex
bit.
Gall with the call.
All right, well, we'll go to the action now.
Here's Peyton Gallagher with the call.
Indeed, Cochran will send it off. And right now, Alex Highland just in need of an answer on this drive. It's about 5 minutes before they hit the locker room. Tomey's leather high end over end kick slicing through the night sky. Tanner Crandall will grab it at his 5. Crandall with an alley. And he is hit hard at the 26-yard line. A nice return, and they'll actually spawn it at the 27 now.
Yeah, decent field position for Highland, considering where they've been for some of this game. And barring a couple penalties, they should be able to go forward this time with the ball instead of back like Hamilton did earlier in this game.
Alex, how does Gage Daly settle this offense down and settle himself down going forward?
Well, I definitely think it's up to Gage Daly to find a better balance between the running and the passing. We talked about the ground and pound running game. That's going to need to return here.
And it returns, it does, as Wood takes it forward. A nice run by him.
Probably.
4 5-yard chunks have been the story tonight for Highland as they move the ball on the ground fairly successfully. Just penalties have killed them, put them in 3rd and long situations throughout the night.
Another key for Highland to getting this offense back on track is just going to be a couple more good balls from Gage Daly, not trying to overthrow his receivers too much. He's just been a hair high on a couple of those passes on 3rd down.
Tight end motions across the formation. Daly barks signals, hands off to Wood. Daly is planted in the backfield. Wood is running hard to the left, breaks a tackle or two, slammed down out of bounds. No penalty flag for a late hit, but Daly put the ball in the hands of his running back, and he makes the play for the 1st down. Daly hit hard there at the end of that play.
Apologize for some of the technical difficulties. We're trying to get our sponsor reads on the screen right now. Some of our black sponsors. We'll try to get back to the action as soon as possible.
Two
men in the
receivers to
backfield.
the bottom of the formation, one to the top. Man motions across, that's True Tanner. Fake handoff, in trouble is Daly. He's stacked up and brought down for a loss. On the play, Victor Zayas, the middle linebacker, shot in. 2nd down and what will be about 13 yards.
Clock going down now. Time becomes an issue at this point. Just under 4 minutes to go. Not quite the 2-minute drill yet. But if Highland's been moving the ball as slowly as they have been, you just got to keep moving forward.
A big play right here to try and get ahead of the sticks and make 3rd down a little bit easier on your offense. Run or pass, that's the question that'll be asked here. Highland having success on the ground so far this drive. Daly rolling right, he's got time, throws back across his body, finds his man Schroeder. He's got a convoy, there goes number 2, turns on the burst, a dash down the sideline, hello end zone. Schroeder with a long touchdown, and just in the blink of an eye, Highland has answered the call and come back into this game. A beautifully designed throwback. Line them up, knock them down. That's 6 for the Hawks.
Well, there's a lot of things that went really good for Highland on that play. A lot of things that were designed that went perfectly. It started with the rollout to the right side from Gage Daly. Then he came back to the left side and found his receiver for a beautiful completion on the little screen to the left side. And then Zach Schroeder just turned on the Jets, had some blockers to the left side with him. And you saw that final burst of speed. They always say as a receiver, you save your best for last. That's exactly what Zach Schroeder did right there. And that's why he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Andy Hatch does well there to handle a low snap. Extra point is up and good, and it's a 3-point game. And Alex, we talked to Coach Farrell before the season started. He talked about how he had his receivers running track to improve their foot speed. The running mechanics, right there, you see it. Schroeder turns on that extra burst of speed at the end to get home. Sweet Pater and Highland with a big answer on that drive as they score their first touchdown of the night.
Schroeder holds the school record in the 300 hurdles for Highland High School. 38 seconds, .0 was his time. He's got some college interest as well. He's got an offer from Wisconsin River Falls. He's also being looked at by the 3 Arizona schools, U of A, ASU, and NAU.
You see why right there, Alex. He's got speed, and you cannot coach that.
But definitely something that was a focus for Coach Brock Farrell in the offseason was making sure that although he might not have the same raw speed as he did last year, is making his receivers run track, like you said, Peyton, and it seems to be paying off here with the speed on the outside.
Now the question becomes, can this defense string together enough plays, make a stop, and prevent Hamilton from scoring again before heading into the locker room? High, long kick into the end zone. That's an automatic touchback. So 10-7 here. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the period before we hit the halftime intermission. You're listening to the Highland Hawk TV network. Peyton Gallagher and Alex Gall here to provide the color for tonight's game. And we haven't had to do much. It's been a very colorful atmosphere so far tonight.
The atmosphere is great, and we're sitting right in the thick of it. The Highland student section on our right, the parents on our left. It's been a loud one. We got the cheerleaders in front of us, and then the other sideline you can see on your screen is full, pretty much except for the band section.
Couldn't ask for a better place to be on a Friday night. Arve back into the game at quarterback. He slings one out to the left. It's a screen pass, and it's stopped. Minimal gain there as Highland, a lot of black hats around the football. And Arizona State Sun Devil Tyler Johnson, the linebacker, played last night in a 30-7 win over visiting Kent State, is on the sideline right now talking to some of his ex-Highland teammates, an alumnus of this school.
Definitely something cool when you have a player of that caliber that came to the school who's coming back.
Quick hit, slung out to the target, Brady Show, and the wide receiver / defensive back picks up the necessary yardage for the first down. Chains moving, clock moving as well. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go before we hit halftime. Handoff, stood up, stuck up, and set down, run by Sebastian Dorman. And a Highland player lost his lid there as Cam Cullimore, the junior linebacker, is forced to the sideline for a play. 2nd and 6, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Play stopped, and now the clock is running. Arve fakes a handoff, rolling left, throwing on the run, hits his man. Couple tackles, slips. A nice pickup again. Brady Show has been showing off on this possession.
Had that nice completion earlier in this game on 3rd down. He came right over the middle, and it was a big first down on that first drive for Hamilton. Does it again there.
Some changes for Highland as they bring on some fresh bodies here. 1st and 10 from the 47 of the Hawks. We haven't seen Rice in a while. Arve with time to the flat. Dropped off. Big hit. Stuck. What a tackle. And exchanging of pleasantries as the man on the mission there was Robert Kingsford.
Yeah, he's been fantastic today. He's got such brute strength to break through the line. We mentioned he benched 245. It was an honorable mention last year, all region. He's been showing out today so far this game.
2nd and 6. Clock running, 1:25 left to play in the period. Arve draws back, looking left. Finds his man Rice, trying to evade tackles. A great open field play, though, by Jay-Sean Lee, who makes the stop.
Interesting to see how the spot is assessed there. Forward progress might have him right near the first down marker, but it looks like he might be just a yard shy.
Stay tuned with us for halftime as our intrepid Jack Johnson has a special interview coming up with the man we just talked about, Ty Johnson, as a flag flies there. It's 3rd down, 3rd and 2 to be precise. But depending on what happens here with this call, it could be a first down, it could be a 3rd and long. And it looks like it's going to be the latter. Ball moved back 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 7, and a great opportunity for Highland to quell this drive.
I don't need to tell you, Peyton, but how important those 5 yards are here on 3rd and 2 versus 3rd and 7.
Robert Kingsford comes off as Highland goes into their sub package to defend the pass. Arve, straight drop, over the middle, tipped up, incomplete.
Good coverage in the middle from Highland right there, Peyton. It was awesome, again, from the linebackers.
Looking for show, and I think the receiver may have heard footsteps as all the Highland players crash down to meet him. This will force a potential punting situation, although it looks like the offense has remained on the field for Hamilton in this Husky offense.
43 seconds to go. Why not take a shot here?
Rice on the near side, guarded by the cornerback Delsey for the first time. It'll be a quick kick. Something out of the Elway playbook. Takes a high hop, rolls back towards the 20, and is down at the 16-yard line. 35 seconds left for Highland. They will get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, a little bit of a bounce there helped the Hawks. They thought they could try and pin him inside their own red zone. They were successful in that. Highland still with some space to work here. Now, Peyton, it's interesting to see what Coach Brockfeld draws up here. We'll be talking to him actually in a couple minutes with our own Jack Johnson. And just a couple at halftime. We'll see what he draws up here, though. It's interesting to see if they're going to try and go forward or they can try and throw a bubble screen to the side and just call for the end of the half.
Jack Johnson sounds like he's going to have a busy 20 minutes or so over the halftime break.
Indeed he will.
35 seconds. We'll see what Highland does. They can just sit on this one and go to the locker room if they want. But it looks like they might come out and run some actual offense. The big tight end is flexed out in the slot.
Yeah, that's Big Red over there.
Passing play here, looking for an option. Daly throws over the middle. Pass is caught by True Tanner. Clock rolling. 26 seconds now as Highland hustles to the line.
Yeah, just hit his check down route right there. Was looking for something longer, but he knew he needed to get something out of the play, and he did. Nice reception there by True Tanner, the converted quarterback.
No particular urgency as time is trickling away. Daly to the line.
Under
Men
10 seconds
set.
now.
6 seconds. Play is away. Daly looking long. Steps up in the pocket. He's got a little time. Points. Throws it up in the air. High. Intercepted by Show. Time expires. And that is the first half. At the end of 24 minutes of high-flying action, the score, Hamilton 10, Highland 7. We'll get ready to set Jack up for this interview here. Alex, any comments on that half?
Yeah, it was a good half for Hamilton in the beginning. Highland was able to fight back pretty well there as a whole. We'll have 15 minutes of halftime coming at you right after these interviews with Jack. We're going to try and see if we can get down to him as soon as possible.
Jack is signaling that coach wants to go to the locker room to talk to his team. Can't say I blame him, all things considered. It has been a thrilling first half. I'm sure there are plenty of adjustments that Coach Farrell would like to make in the locker room.
And it looks like we're going to have Jack Johnson with Coach Farrell. Jack, back to you, down to you. What you got for us?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Brock Farrell. It wasn't as fast of a start of last week, but you're still in the ball game. It's 10-7. So what's the message going into the locker room?
Well, we came to a football game, man. Like, it's good stuff. So just got to keep battling. I thought after our first series, I thought we did a good job of establishing our run game. Really just our defense has to get off the field. We've had several opportunities and we keep giving up like chunk yardage plays. So we got to eliminate those. I don't think we've hit their quarterback yet. So we need to do that. But let's fix those things and see what happens.
Yeah, I heard you mention you wanted to get a lot more pressure on the quarterback, especially after the first drive. Do you want to bring more blitzes, or is it just more about the defensive lineman getting home?
Both. We'll see. We'll see what it's all a combination of what we do best, because we don't just want to start throwing stuff out there because we're going to give up big plays. So, we'll figure out what we do best, and we'll go bring it out in the second half.
And then last question, Coach. It was pretty much the first meaningful in-game action for your quarterback, Gage Daly. How did he look to you?
Like a sophomore. Hamilton moves a lot faster than Alhambra, so I think he's got his butterflies out. The lights were on and all that good stuff. I think he's going to be okay. He's just got to. We get him a nice, good completion. I think he'll turn it on and we'll be all right.
Coach.
Real quick shout out. Love you, Stephen, Haley. Hope you guys are having a great time. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Coach. That was Coach Brock Farrell. They're still in the ball game. It's 10-7, but it has been a gritty and a grinded-out game. We'll see if Highland can turn it up in this second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jack. It was a really good half of football, and as Coach Brock Farrell put it, we have a football game. We got another half coming up for you after the break on the other side of this one. 13:53 on the clock, and we'll be right back with more Highland Hawks football on the Highland Hawks TV network. All right, we are back here at Highland High School, Hamilton High School rather, where our Jack Johnson is with ASU player Ty Johnson and Highland alum. Jack, what you got?
Yeah, I'm with Ty Johnson right here on the sideline. Ty, you went to Highland, so what are your impressions of the team so far during the season? I noticed you were at last week's game as well.
You know, it's only the second game of the season. When I heard it, they were playing Hamilton this week, I had to make it out. You know, thankfully we had ASU, we had a game yesterday, so I was able to make it to this game because, you know, Highland's getting on a good track of having a great teams, and they've proven it the past couple seasons, so it's pretty awesome to come out here and see what they're doing.
Yeah, even from your time when you graduated to now, there's been a lot of market improvement with the team. They made it to the state semifinals last year, so just how proud are you of your alma mater just taking those steps to compete for a state championship?
It's really, you know, it leaves me speechless because when I was here, you know, we didn't go that far. We always got knocked out in the first round. I was at that game in the semifinals last year. They've proven that they can be there. They've proven that they can win a state championship now, so it's time to just go get it.
I got to ask you about last night. That was a good win against Kent State. How are you feeling about the ASU team this year?
We should be really good. You know, we had a lot of true freshmen play last night, which was the most in any school in NCAA. So we've also proven that, you know, freshmen can come in right away and play and prove that they belong in a top school like we are. So it was it was a good team win, like we said. It's, you know, we could have played better, but, you know, it is what it is, but we got a W in our column.
That was Ty Johnson. Right back up to you guys.
Thank you, Jack. Just under 10 minutes in the halftime break to go, and we will have Highland Hawks football coming at you. The second half of play between the Hamilton Huskies and your Highland Hawks coming up on the other side of this break. You're watching Highland Hawks football on Highland Hawks TV network. Welcome back to Chandler, Arizona, where our own Jack Johnson is with the Highland student section. Jack.
I'm in amongst the throng. There are screaming people left and right. I'm here with my two friends, Ryder and Elias. Ryder, you guys are the best student section in the whole state. Hey, no one's got this. No one's got this. Hey, Ryder, what's it like to come on the road to play with boys like this? We're the greatest student section alive. Best student section, you heard it right here in the state of Arizona, supporting their Highland Hawks, down 10-7 right now. But you know this team's going to be cheering for them to get back in it. Welcome to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jack, and what a great atmosphere all night long being provided by the Ferals Fanatics, the Highland Hawk student section. Once again, alongside Peyton Gallagher, I'm Alex Gall, and Jack Johnson is in the scrum down there. The third member of our team will be checking in with him periodically throughout the second half of play. And as he mentioned, the Highland Hawks come into the second half down 10-7 to Hamilton, but they have ways, and they had a good second quarter to get back into this one.
Just for starters, good luck and Godspeed to Jack getting out of that crowd, that absolute sea of white that resides to our right side here. But for Highland, their formula for escape is much simpler. Clean up the unforced mistakes. Penalties were a killer in that half. In physical early season matchups that are intense like this between evenly matched opponents, oftentimes it's who can execute down the line who wins the game. Highland has to make sure that they are the ones executing here in the third and fourth quarters.
Peyton, rather, who was someone that impressed you the most on Highland in the first half?
Both the outside linebackers, Daniel Wood and Robert Kingsford, were the saving grace of this defense. They struggled at times to contain all the explosive playmakers that Hamilton has, but those two guys really made big plays, big momentum hits that changed the tide. They announced themselves in the game early on, and they made sure their presence was felt.
As Crash Davis would say in the baseball movie Bull Durham, announce your presence with authority, and that's exactly what both of those guys did in the first half.
They were so good, Alex, so good, controlling the line of scrimmage on the perimeter, making sure that this Hamilton team couldn't use their athleticism to get to the outside and take advantage that way. They were going to have to come at this defense head on and win the day that way. So far, Highland has forced them into a gridlock that I don't know if they wanted to be in.
They definitely started off stronger, Hamilton did. In the first drive, they got the beneficiary of a fourth down penalty by the Highland Hawks that gave him a first down, and it ignited a long drive in that first one. That might have been the turning point in that first half, and then especially in that first quarter.
Well, your defense comes out, they do everything right, they get a stop, and then when push comes to shove, they make a mistake at the end of it that results in 7 points. It is a crucial error. It is the reason the scoreboard reflects the way it does right now. And for Highland, again, it goes back to these unforced errors. You only have so many toes you can shoot off, Alex, in a game before you just can't walk anymore, and you're not going to win. Highland is running out of chances to make those mistakes. They can only make so many more here in the second half and still expect to win.
One player who did not make a mistake in that second quarter of action was when Highland got their lone touchdown of the game. Zach Schroeder shook off about 2 or 3 defenders and got some blocks on the near side of the field. The 6'2", 175 receiver had plenty of space, and he turned on the jets, had the afterburners on for something extra for that long touchdown run off the bubble screen.
The senior got the ball on the pass back. It was a really well-designed play, but it could have been a nice gain, not a touchdown. It could have been about 20 yards. Schroeder was very smart about how he timed his burst down the sideline, saw the blocker in front, made sure he got parallel, and the old saying is, if he's even, he's leaving. Schroeder saw the daylight, and he took off, got right by that defender, and zoomed into the end zone.
Zach Schroeder, one of a number of Highland receivers with a lot of speed on the outside. Not quite the speed they had last season, but Zach Schroeder and Tyler Crandall also have plenty of speed out there, as does True Tanner. As the team's now coming back onto the field, it'll be Tyler Crandall back there to receive the kick. And for the moment, at least, the noise level has died down to one of its lowest levels, I would say, Peyton, in this entire game.
Well, coming out of the halftime locker room, there's all the halftime merriment in the student sections, everybody socializing and whatnot. Sometimes you lose focus on the game, and it can take a second to rev back up. into the flow of things. But if what we just saw from Jack a moment ago is any indication, it's about to get really loud here as we move forward into the night, and this game is decided over the next 24 minutes of football.
Tyler Crandall and Daniel Wood are back to receive for the Highland Hawks as we begin the second half of play. To kick it away for the Hamilton Huskies is Colin Fuller, the senior 6-foot kicker. 12 minutes on the clock, 24 left in the game, and it's high school football coming to you on the Highland Hawks TV network. We've got a good one, and we're glad you're with us on this beautiful Friday night in Chandler. As the noise level picks up to the right of the commentary position that we are in, which is a very low one at that, as the kick is away, as you would say, end over end, caught by Tyler Crandall at about the 5-yard line. It's a hold to the left side, gets up to about the 25, just short of the 30. That's where Highland will start their drive.
Highland has had room to run, Crandall specifically on a couple of these run backs. Just at the last moment, it feels like Hamilton has slammed the door shut each and every time. Over the last 2 years, it feels like Highland has dominated the special teams facet of the game every single time they played. Today, though, it's been an even matchup as a flag flies.
Flags come in before the first play of the drive, and we'll see what the call is here. The referee's coming to confer, but one of them is talking to the offensive line of the Hawks.
Interesting decision, and it looks like the penalty is actually going to be against Hamilton. Maybe somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
So they will march forward. It looks like they're going to go forward at least 10 or maybe 15 yards.
Something must have been said, Alex, between the two lines there. It's been a gutty first half with a lot of pleasantries exchanged. That time, somebody must have crossed the line. Big break for Highland. They start with way better field position, close to the 50.
The motion runner to the left side of the line, shotgun formation with 3 receivers. Schroeder to the near side, gives the handoff to Wood. He's trying to bounce off a defender, still going, and he's not quite able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Good effort by Wood there, but nothing was to be done when Sam Weingarten, a captain on this team, shot the A-gap and got into the backfield in a hurry. You read that play all the way. 2nd and maybe 13 here.
Wood doing a good job bouncing off of some of the Husky defenders. It might have been 2nd and 15. Shotgun formation again for Daly. 3 receivers at the top part of the screen. Empty on the bottom. Hands it off Wood, and it's read all the way. He's able to fall forward, though, for a gain of a couple.
Guess who? A little case of deja vu there. Weingarten, again, shooting the gap and making the stop, and now he'll be subbed off. As on a 3rd and long, it looks like Hamilton will play the pass here.
Daly looks towards the sideline for the call.
Interesting, a 3-man front for Hamilton. We haven't seen that much from them.
3 receivers. Gage Daly, the 5'9" quarterback. Doesn't have a lot of size, but he makes up for it. See if he can do it here. 3-step drop, firing. Got a comeback around to the back. Schroeder, it's a catch and a first down for Highland. Really good job by Zach Schroeder. Comeback route.
There's that man again, Schroeder, using his body to work off the defender, and a flag deep in the backfield in the area of holding, or maybe an illegal hit to the quarterback.
And the team seemed to know it. I think Highland's starting to walk back. No, the chain's moving forward, and the penalty is assessed against Hamilton. So a first down for Highland. Either a really good play by the receiver, Schroeder.
Yeah, Alex, either illegal hands to the face or potentially illegal contact to the QB. And on the last couple plays, that's 30 yards picked up on penalties alone for Highland.
So Highland moves up to the 33-yard line of the Huskies. Takes the snap. Daly keeps it on the play option. Throws the bubble screen to the right, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Grayson Kennedy couldn't find any space after catching the bubble screen.
It was an RPO all the way. Daly took the ball, ran out right, was looking for options, and maybe should have just taken the option of throwing the ball away. But we talked to Coach Farrell before the year started, and he said the one issue Daly has, sometimes he tries to make a little bit too much happen. I think that was an instance of that.
2nd and 13 coming from the 35-yard line. Daly with a shotgun formation, 2 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side, hands it off, bound to bounce through the middle, has a hold to the left side, and finds a way through for a gain of about 5.
Great patience by Wood. Looked like he was being pursued from the backside by Isaiah Blanco. Blanco couldn't get there, but Show finally made the tackle after a 3-yard pickup.
3rd and 10 coming for Highland from their 32-yard line of Hamilton.
Big 3rd down, certainly in field goal range here for Jackson Ray.
He's got quite a leg. We'll see if he needs to get onto the field now. As Daly in the shotgun formation takes the snap. 2-step drop, fires to the left side. He's got some room. And there's Tyson Roder, big run over to the pylon. We'll see if he gets inside for the 1st down. Regardless, moves Highland close enough to kick a field goal if he didn't get the 1st. That's Big Red on the near side of the field, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. They use him much like Clemson does as the tight end.
A move tight end, they'll line him up in the slot and hunt mismatches on linebackers. There's an example of that. Highland, a very smart call there by Coach Farrell on a 3rd down on the fringes of field goal range to get the ball out quickly and prevent a sack potentially, which would have moved them out of field goal territory, and Jackson Ray will come on here.
So 4th and 2 from the 24, and the kicking team is out for Highland. Jackson Ray is the kicker, the 5'11", 150-pound junior. And we'll see if he has the leg here. Kick is in the air. It's a good one, but it might be wide. And it is. Wide to the left from Jackson Ray, and it is still 10-7 in favor of Hamilton.
That thing was slicing all the way, and I think someone may have gotten a fingertip on it to push it that direction. Great jump off the ball. I believe Jamar Brown was the one with the disruption, and if he didn't block the kick, he certainly disrupted the timing of everything and forced the miss.
So the score remains 10-7 with 9:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still lots of time here, but Coach Brock Farrell electing to not go for it and try and take the tie. But Jackson Ray's boot sails just wide left.
Defense got to dig deep here and find a way to get a stop.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Takes the snap. Arve hands it off. Through the middle with a huge hand. He's got some space to run. He's over midfield, cuts it back. Deshaun is the only guy there, and they're able to wrap him up. Deshaun Lee was the only guy back there. It's a huge gain for the Hamilton Huskies, but it could have been even more.
The Huskies have been able to pick up chunks the entire game. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 yards, maybe a little bit more. That time, you finally got what you were feeling might be coming the entire game. They rip off the big play, and now they're in prime scoring position. Wow, the tables have turned here.
1st and 10 from the 23, hands it off left side, and tackled well there by Highland. He still managed to fall forward. That was the running back, Sebastian Dorman, the 5'9", 76-pound senior.
Great stick-to-itiveness there on that play as Dorman was chopped down but landed on top of the defender, kept those legs moving and picked up a couple extra yards at the end of the run.
2nd and 10 coming from the 18. Comes out in that pistol. They motion the running back to the right side of the quarterback, Arve. Arve hands it off on a jet sweep. Trying to hit the right side hole, finds a little bit of a hole, but he's tackled short of the 10-yard line.
I think he might have had enough, though, to pick up the 1st down.
The marker was about the 12, maybe the 13, and it definitely looked like he was right in that area. Players down after the play. It is a Hamilton player, and the trainers are out.
I think that might be Show down there on the field. Hopefully it's just a cramp. As we mentioned, over 100 degrees late into the night here in Chandler. Early on in the season, guys not necessarily in game shape. They're stretching them out.
Definitely from the stretches that they're doing, you have to assume it's a cramp. Wish all the best. 10-7 Hamilton is the score. And Highland, both teams rather, will get a short water break in the injury timeout.
Well, that's big for Highland so they can catch their breath a little bit here without burning a timeout. All night long, they've been able to dodge bullet after bullet inside their own red zone. They've only given up 10 points somehow. Right now, 1st and 10. Hamilton can still pick up a 1st down before getting to a 1st and goal situation. The marker placed at the 2-yard line. Heels got to be dug in here tight. Highland's got to find a way to at least force a field goal so that all the momentum does not escape them.
Well, it wasn't about 5 minutes ago that we were talking about a tie ball game at 10-10. Had Jackson Ray's field goal attempt sailed through, but it went wide left, and a couple plays later, we're in the other red zone.
What I tell you at halftime, Alex, who is going to execute better was probably going to determine this game. That field goal attempt, there was probably a missed assignment as a blitzer was able to come free, howling off the edge and disrupt that kick, results in a miss. And a couple minutes later, Hamilton's moving down the field trying to put themselves up 2 scores. That player is helped back up. It is in fact Show, and he is going to limp off the sideline. Ginger on what looks like that right leg.
So it's good to see him up. We said number 11, Brady Show. And we hope he can return. Getting the best medical attention from the Hamilton staff over on the far sideline. We'll be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line when we resume. And a big potential moment here for both sides.
The schematics will be interesting here for Highland. They made some adjustments, it looks like, from the second to the third quarter defensively. They got gashed on the big run. Be interesting to get a look at the formation. They've been pretty steady with a 3-4 look the entire night.
So 1st and 10 from the 12 from the quarterback, Arve. Nick Arve in the gun. 3 receivers, 2 to the far side, motion 1 to the left side of the line. Now 3 to the left. Takes the snap, hands it off through the middle, and he's bouncing past the 10-yard line, now up to at the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, he just kept going, and he found his way in. Gabriel Armenta for the score, and it's 16-7 in favor of Hamilton.
What a drive by Armenta. The big run to set up Hamilton in deep Highland territory, and he finishes off what he started with a nice run where he kept his balance, used that low center of gravity to stay on his feet and fight into the end zone. Some bad tackling there from Highland grants the score to the Huskies, and they score a touchdown for the first time since their first possession.
7:39 to go in the third quarter as they look to make it 17, and it splits the uprights. So the score is 17-7, a 10-point lead for Hamilton. Highland with a chance now to strike back. What's their best chance in doing it, Peyton?
Well, Alex, has been disjointed. Honestly, their best offense has been the opposing team committing penalties, it feels like, throughout the night. They've had some success with the between the tackles, between the hashes run game. Some of these screens, I'd like to see Gage Daly get the ball out to the perimeter a little bit more quickly on this possession. We saw their lone touchdown come from a pass back to Schroeder. Let's get these athletes out in space and let them do their thing.
Daly certainly hasn't had a bad game. Did have that interception, but didn't really mean much at the end of the first half. But you would like to see a little bit more accuracy from the sophomore, and that's what Coach Brock Farrell said at halftime. Well, he looks like a sophomore, and that's definitely with some room to improve, but he wouldn't be trusting his offense with Daly if he didn't believe in him.
One of the best quarterbacks, Alex, have an internal sense of urgency. That means that when the time to turn it on comes, they can dig in and they can find a way to elevate to that next gear of focus and execution to elevate their team. Right now, Daly needs at least a long drive to spare his defense some time on the sideline so they can collect their wits and catch their breath. Ultimately, you like it to end in points. It's not do or die time just yet, but Daly does need to put together a nice drive.
Colin Fuller will kick it away for Hamilton. It's in the air, end over end. Caught by Tyler Crandall at the 10-yard line. Trying to find a hole on the left side. Crandall bounces to the outside, and it gets to the 30 before being taken out of bounds. And Highland with decent field position.
They started at about the 30-yard line the entire night long. But again, this defense has been so stifling for the Huskies tonight. They gave up 49 points when they played last year in Highland's home building. This year, a totally different story. as the guys wearing maroon and silver have locked it down and played great fundamental D.
As the teams come out for the drive, Gage Daly back on it, quarterback for your Highland Hawks. Out wide to the right side is the receiver, Tyler Crandall, takes the snap. Hands off to the middle, he's got some room. It's Max Davis again with a burst of speed to midfield, and he's taken down at the 50-yard line.
But a flag on the far sideline may negate that big gain.
Seems like every time Highland has had a big play, a flag has flown. And we'll see if it hurts him again here. Teams aren't moving yet, though.
I'm not sure anybody's noticed it yet. It was the line judge on the far side who threw it.
And Highland walking towards the sideline.
I think a timeout was called for the injured player.
They haven't motioned about what the flag was yet. Or if there was a flag, maybe they picked it up.
The line judge on that far side has picked up the marker. He would have had to do that eventually anyway, and now I think he's going to report the infraction to the head referee. There's a gaping hole there, right up the gut. Davis able to get to the second level without being touched.
That's one thing we've seen from Davis, especially in the first two games, his ability to get to that second level, and then once he's able to get there, he's able to make that nice move and get free like he did there to the 50. So it will be 1st and 10 from midfield following the timeout for the injured player.
Hopefully, again, it's just a situation where the player was a little bit dehydrated and is cramping up as he's able to get back to his feet.
7:25 to go, 17-7 Hamilton.
Isaiah Blanco able to walk off under his own power. Now Hamilton, there was no penalty call, so they'll take the ball where it lies.
So it looks like they either picked up the flag or it was just a marker thrown on the field. Zach Schroeder lines up on the near side of your screen alone on the near part.
He's got single coverage, press man-to-man. If he can win this battle, it could be the time to take a shot.
Shotgun formation for Daly. One receiver to each side of the field. Tight formation on the line with the running back to his right. Daly takes the snap, hands off Davis. Davis through the middle. Davis with some space, cuts out to the outside. And he goes! It's Max Davis! To the inside lane! And he's in the end zone! They wave it off now! He was close, and we'll see what the ref says. The Highland sideline doesn't like it, but what a burst of speed from Max Davis.
Last year it was Daniel Wood. This year it has been Max Davis, the saving grace for Highland's offense. That man has been on a mission tonight, running with emphasis, with power, with conviction. He's really elevated this offense here in the last quarter of play as he sets them up on the 1-yard line.
What another great move by Max Davis. He's been the backup running back. We've seen this two-pronged rushing attack from Highland. It's 1st and goal from the 4.
Davis did a great job of keeping those feet alive. He was looking to bounce the entire time, and when he saw the window to do so, he definitely did. I formation, super heavy look.
Takes the snap, hands it off to the running back, hits the outside, is in the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown Hawks! Daniel Wood into the end zone after his counterpart in crime. Max Davis gets it inside the red zone. Daniel Wood finishes it off, the senior.
What an excellent run there. They call that formation super heavy. Put everyone you can in the backfield to block for Wood. Everybody clamped down, and Wood had the foresight to get outside, make it a one-on-one matchup with him and the corner, and he won it.
And the extra point is through the uprights. It's now 17-14. Hamilton with a slim 3-point lead as we go down to our own Jack Johnson with an update on Big Red, Tyson Roner.
Yeah, guys, Tyson Roner, he was hurt and limping after a play earlier in the third quarter. He is visibly and emotionally upset. It appears to me to be either a foot injury or an ankle injury. He's got the foot wrapped up in ice right now. It very possibly could be a broken toe. He's on crutches. He had Jared McGee, his teammate, number 44, come over and talk to him. But there's a lot of emotions running high for the senior, playing his last season of football for Highland. definitely emotional on the sideline, just wiping the tears away from his face right now. And he's shaking some of his teammates and talking to them. But guys, definitely a tough scene for one of the team leaders, the senior Tyson Roner, who is out for the remainder of tonight's game.
Thank you, Jack, as we get an update on Tyson Roner, and never good to see a player get hurt. There he is on the sideline and still with his teammates with those crutches, but it's always good to see a teammate who's might be hurt, but he's still on the sidelines ready to support his team, and it's been a good game so far, 17-14. He was a big part of it, had a nice reception earlier on, Peyton.
Yeah, Roner making senior-type plays throughout the night. That time fought for some extra yards at the end of a play, trying to elevate his team. I've used that word elevate a lot tonight. As these seniors, they are literally trying to lift this team up on their back and take them across the finish line. Roner trying to do that right there. Just an unfortunate bounce in the wrong direction, and catastrophe can happen. I hope the young man can recover from this.
Still up there at the sideline and will be supporting his team for probably the rest of the game here tonight. As Highland gets ready to kick it away to Hamilton. Another big pivotal moment. We've talked about a lot of those, Peyton, but there's been the potential for a lot of them where one team can really step up and say, this is our game, and it seems like it might be one of those moments right here.
Right now, Highland needs to catapult themselves with this momentum, get a stop, get the ball back, and give themselves a chance to take the lead. It was very deflating to watch that opportunity to tie the game go awry when they missed that field goal. They responded there after the long touchdown drive. Does the defense have another stop in them? That's the question.
Jackson Ray kicks it away, gets some space to the far side of the field, and he's tackled probably just past the 20-yard line. Hard to see from our vantage point exactly where those yard markers are. Maybe closer to the 30. And they'll say 1st and 10 from
23-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like the 23. Good call, Peyton.
Shout out to the scoreboard.
I was giving you credit, you didn't take it.
I'm a humble man.
I can't help that, Peyton.
I just called myself humble, which is kind of the antithesis of such, but yes.
1st and 10 for Hamilton, and Arve in the shotgun. With a motion to the right side of the line. Takes the snap, Arve hands it off for the right side handoff. He's got some space, but is tackled nicely by Highland.
Man, those three linebackers have come to play tonight. Wood, Cullimore, and Kingsford have been laying the lumber all night long, and those hits start to add up as you go into the fourth quarter. Running backs just don't want to run the ball anymore against that vaunted group of linebackers wearing white jerseys.
It's a 5-yard gain, but it could have been a lot more for Dorman had Cam Cullimore not been there to close the gap. 6:30 to go, and it's 2nd and 5 from the 20. Give it to 28-yard line. Takes the snap. Arve, 4-step drop, throws it to the near side, back shoulder throw. It looks like it's incomplete.
Alex, we saw a lot of Rice early in this game. Not very active as of late for him. When you've got a 4-star target, you'd think they'd try and shoehorn the ball to him a couple times, but Arve's just ignored him over there on that left side for most of this game.
6:18 to go. Brendan Rice definitely a huge threat out there, the son of the NFL Jerry Rice. I haven't mentioned that before this point in the game, but definitely something to note. Arve with a 3rd and 6 on their own 33. Rolls out right side, going for the deep shot, jumping up for it, and he comes down with it, I think, but he's pushed out of bounds.
I think they're going to give him the catch, Alex. I think he got 1 foot in.
And we just talked about him. There's Brendan Rice with a really nice reception. That 6'3" frame allowed him to come down with it.
Well, when you need it, your best players need to deliver, and Brendan Rice is exactly that, and he did just that. Able to fight over the top of the smaller defender, go get the football, and have the awareness to get the toe in. Absolutely stupendous play.
1st and 10 from their own 41. Arve keeps it on the read option. Throws the screen pass to the right side of the field. Makes 2 spins, and it's out! The ball is out, and it's taken by the Highland Hawks! Jumping out is Amon Allen! But we'll see what the refs say. If it went out of bounds first, it's a dead ball that goes back at the spot where it went out.
Just needs to establish a clear recovery while the ball is in play. I thought he did it.
The training staff going out as well. There might be someone hurt after the play as well. Lots happening on that last play, and it could have been a big moment for either side.
Hamilton is clapping like the ball went out of bounds, and you hear the groans from the Highland fans as they thought they had recovered that one and given the ball back to their offense.
Well, what a potential moment it would have been there for Highland, but it definitely seems like one of the Hamilton players is pretty shaken up as the coaches are out there with the trainers as well.
It was a big hit, and that's what dislodged the football, but I don't think that's who is down on the play. The ball carrier, that being, I can't get a read on what's happening right now. He's surrounded by black trainer shirts.
Leads you to think it might be a bit more serious, but you don't want to assume. 5:48 to go in the third quarter of play. We still got a lot of football to play here, but it feels like this atmosphere right now, Peyton, like it's the fourth quarter.
This cauldron is ready to boil over, Alex. The energy has been phenomenal throughout this third quarter as the scoring, the pace of play has picked up. It was a little bit sloppy in the first half. This half has been a little bit more concise, the level of football and execution we expected tonight.
It's definitely been a cleaner half of football so far. Some good plays from both offenses. This game would have been tied had it not been for the Jackson Ray field goal miss wide to the left. But it was a pretty far kick. I mean, at least 40 yards.
Again, I withhold that. I think somebody either disrupted the timing of that kick or got a finger on the ball.
Jackson Ray has a leg. You can see it when he kicks it straight from the kickoff into the end zone for the automatic touchbacks. And he might get another chance here with the way this game is going.
The injured player, the Husky, Zachary Lewis, the running back and receiver, is forced to come off.
Off under his own power and with a little bit of a limp, but doesn't look too bad.
So 1st and 10, Hamilton just dodged a bullet there. Great tackling by Highland. You want to get a helmet on the football. That's the easiest way to force a fumble. They did just that. They did not benefit after a bad bounce. Can this defense recoil from that, find a way to rebound?
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Highland 40-yard line. Ball spotted where it went out. Arve takes the snap. Small drop, throwing a deep ball to the left side of the field, jumping up for it, and it's taken. It's incomplete. There might be a flag, though.
Yeah, Jay-Sean Lee did everything he could there. He had to undercut Rice. Rice is angry with his quarterback for not putting more lead on that ball because he had the man beat. Down the sideline, that should have been a touchdown.
He had to turn back to it, almost like a back shoulder throw, but it wasn't designed that way. Kind of underthrew him.
Kind of a 50-50-ish call there. Lee doing everything he could. He just, as I said, kind of arrived at the wrong moment, undercut Rice, and drew the flag.
So the ball was at the 40, and after the penalty, be moved up to the 25-yard line. 15-yard penalty on pass interference. The catch was made inside the 10, though. That's the difference in rules between high school football and the NFL. Olive in the gun. Two receivers to the far side. Gives the handoff. Trying to bounce through the middle, and it's stuffed by the Highland defense.
Instant penetration up the A-gap, a combination of those big defensive tackles creating havoc and those linebackers getting downhill in a hurry.
2nd and 9 coming, just a gain of 1 yard on the first down play. Two receivers to the far side again. Look for Rice, the top of your screen. Takes the snap, pulls the handoff. Throwing to the left side on the check down route. It's complete. And he falls down with it short of the 15.
Good catch in the flat by Brady Show, who's been the number 2 option in this offense tonight. Really good to see that young man back in the game after having to come out earlier with an apparent injury. Big 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 from the 24-yard line with 4:48 to go, third quarter. 17-14 Hamilton.
The 3 yards that lay in front of Hamilton right now very well could be the decider in this game.
Arve in the gun. A man in motion, that's Rice. Gives the handoff. Oh, takes it on the jet sweep, and he's forward for the first down. Good design play.
Exactly what I was going to say, Alex. A greatly designed play by this coaching staff. use Rice, who's such a threat with his size and athleticism, his eye candy, to freeze the defense. So they follow him. Quarterback pulls it right out. Easy first down run.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11. First down marker at the 1, so not a goal spot. 2 receivers on the near side. Look for Rice at the far side. He's in motion again. Rather, that's number 11, Brady Show. Through the right side. Not past the 10. Maybe the 9-yard line, gain of a couple.
Again, really great pursuit by Kingsford. He was in on that play. These defensive ends and linebackers have been so good tonight. Colton Ellsworth, another man who's checked into this game and taken up a big role in on the stop. I've been very impressed with what he's been able to do at defensive end.
2nd and 8 from the 9. Armenta the rack. Throwing over and incomplete.
Oh, watch out. We've got a little bit of contact after the play, and 2 players have to be separated.
No flags fly.
The scuffle occurred between number 56 in maroon, Finley Leckie, the captain, and number 10, Teague Treese.
So it's now a big play for Highland. 3rd and 8 from the 9. Arve in the gun. Armenta is still the back, motions to the left side of the quarterback. Arve takes the snap, 3-step drop, rolling out left side under pressure. Here goes Arve to the right side. He's going to cuck it and run. He's tackled. Ball comes out. Highland takes the helmet.
It'd be a real shame if Highland forced 2 fumbles and both of them went out of bounds on the same drive, but I believe that's what happened.
So the ball goes out at the spot. That's where the 4th down will be placed. So possession retained by the Huskies, at least for the moment, and we might see them go for it here.
Arve and these Huskies living on the edge here on this drive. 2 disasters avoided. Now they'll go for it on a 4th and 1.
So 2 fumbles, neither of them lost for the Hamilton Huskies. It's 4th and 1 from the 3. They need 1 yard for the first down and 3 for a touchdown.
Could be a back-breaking blow if Hamilton can pick this up.
Single back formation, play whistle dead, and it looks like it's a timeout called by the coaching staff of the Huskies. Don't blame them there.
Interesting timeout as the atmosphere built. Maybe you just want to get a look at what the defense is throwing out there. It's in the 3rd quarter. You know, you only have 3 timeouts and you can take none of them with you, but in a close game like this, you want to have them at the end.
So we'll have a big 4th down try coming for the Hamilton Huskies. But we would like to remind you in the time we have, we still have a couple VIP seats remaining. Not only will you get some convenient parking, great seats, but your VIP pass will also get you free admission to all Highland home, freshman, and JV games. Contact Jeff Boone or visit oxbooster.com. We'd also like to thank Dr. Sam Bullwinkle from Arizona Smile Center for being a block sponsor and for donating the halftime Gatorades to our varsity players. He's also agreed to replace any teeth that might be lost during today's game.
At this rate, he might have to replace a few with how this game has been played. It's been an absolute slobber knocker.
That's a word.
It may be. It may also just be a word that broadcasters invented to sound smart.
Big play coming. 4th and 1 from the 2. Single back formation for the Hamilton Huskies. 1 receiver to the far side. Watch Rice. Takes the snap, hands it off, barreling through the end zone. He might be in. And he is. Touchdown. Touchdown Huskies.
Great push on that play as the interior of the offensive line cleared a path about 10 axe handles wide. Bursting through the hole was Armenta. He's been a star in the second half. And that is a big blow against Highland as they go back down by 10.
The 5'9 tailback, who is a senior, Gabriel Armenta, pounds it in for the Hamilton Huskies and restores a 9-point, and after the point try here, a 10-point lead. Kick is up, it's in the air, and it's through. Kick is good, and it restores the 10-point lead for the Hamilton Huskies. Can Highland respond? Find out next on the Hamilton Highland Hawks TV network. like to thank some of our platinum sponsors: Aspen Physical Therapy, Crandall Plumbing, NTH, and EastValleyTire.com. Also Abbott Granite, Lambert Goodnow Injury Lawyers, Laura Lamb Independent, and Deegan. As we come back here, 24-14 is our score. Hamilton over Highland at the moment, and they will kick it away as Gage Daly will have another chance to bring him and his squad to within 3 points. Crandall trying to shake a defender. He caught it near his own end zone, still has some space. He's finding a way to keep moving forward, and he's down short of the 25-yard line.
Great effort there by Crandall, inches away from letting that ball go into the end zone. Did a Michael Jackson impression on the goal line to prevent himself from giving up the touchback, but when it's all said and done, maybe gains a couple inches from where the ball would have been placed.
We mentioned a couple of our sponsors, our Hawks Neck sponsors: Legacy Funeral Home, Desert Family Medicine at Gold Canyon, and also some of our black level sponsors: Arizona Smile Center, Evans Dub, Nelson, Fisher, and Career Families. Daly takes the snap, hands it off. Wood, way to the near side of the field. He's got some space, and he's in for a first down.
This offensive line is starting to establish themselves, Alex. They lost 5 starters last year. Trying to replace an entire offensive line is no small feat. This group has gained confidence, though, throughout the night. And this group of 5 guys at the front of this Highland attack, the tip of the spear, if you will, have improved throughout this ball game.
Shotgun formation, 2nd and 1. He was just short of the first down. Hands it off. Wood to the right side. He's trying to fall forward for the first down, but the defensive line of the Huskies doesn't let him.
I'm not sure if it's 4-down territory just yet, but Highland might be toying with potential 2-down situation here. You know, you're down 10. You only got about 14 minutes left the game, and your defense has struggled as of late. It may be the time where you're dialing up something and going for this if you don't get it here on this 3rd down.
2:31 to go in quarter number 3. 24-14 is the score. Daly comes up under center with 2 men in the backfield. A man in motion to the right side, hands it off, and he's stopped before the line of scrimmage, and it'll be taken back. Wood can't get the first down, and we'll see if they go forward here. 4th and 1.
A quandary for Brock Farrell on the decision that may determine the outcome of this game.
2 running plays there from Wood. He wasn't able to get any yards on either of them.
And it looks like they are going super big here as they bring on the extra beef, the extra offensive linemen and tight ends.
So if you are Hamilton, you pretty much know what's coming here. It's going to be a run play, probably a halfback dive to either side. The question is which side?
Old-fashioned who wants it more football coming up.
4th and 1 from the 34-yard line. Takes the snap, Daly hands it off, barely fired, he's right near the line. Highland thinks they got it.
Friendly spot, I didn't think he had it.
He was hit before he got to the line of scrimmage. He was able to have just enough momentum he built up.
Great last-ditch effort to force himself over the tackle and reach the ball forward for a first down.
A 1-yard gain on the play, but it might be one of the biggest yards gained this today. 1st and 10 now from the 35-yard lines. From the 35-yard line, rather. Daly hands it off, going through, and he found a hole. Went forward with it, and a gain of about 4 on first down.
A little bit lucky there, fortunate as there was a false start that was not called. Grayson Kennedy moved in motion just a half second before the ball was snapped, but ultimately after that play, it is about a 10-yard play. So they prevent moving back 5 yards and go forward 5.
2nd and 6 from the 39, under a minute to go. Daly got it deep down the field. He's got Tyler Crandall. Touchdown! Touchdown, Hawks! He's been hurt a couple of them today, but it was a pinpoint accurate throw from the quarterback, Gage Daly. And they go up together. Tyler Crandall for a touchdown.
You want drama on a Friday night? We got that. What a throw by the young quarterback, and that may have just been the coming of age moment for Gage Daly, laying it in there for his receiver, Tyler Crandall. Could not have been drawn up more perfect than that. What a ball by the young quarterback. He's 5'9", but that does not measure the size of his heart. What a ball.
The point after is good as chance rained down from the Ferris Fanatics. He's a sophomore, and what a play it was, and what a throw from Gage Daly.
That's how you do it, Alex. He had time to throw, took a deep 5 to 8 step drop, stepped up in the pocket, planted that front foot, and just directed that ball. You know, they tell quarterbacks the ball is going to go where your feet go. Daly set his foot down the field and launched that one in there right into the breadbasket of Crandall.
So 40 seconds to go as the lead is now down to 3. Once again, Howard has made it a 3-point lead. Now I think for the third time in this game, and every time Hamilton has found a way to respond, we'll see if they can here. We'll take a short break and come back on the Highland Hawks TV network. Jackson Ray will kick it away following the huge touchdown play by Highland. 24-21 Hamilton. It's a 3-point lead again. Ray's kickoff sails into the end zone for a touchback.
Just going to revisit that play. That's the play where legacies are born. That kind of throw from a young quarterback the first time on a big stage when his team needed him. What I say earlier, sense of urgency. He elevated. That's been a buzzword tonight. But the young quarterback, Gage Daly, is able to lift his team with a perfect throw. They're still in this ball game. They keep scratching and clawing. They just need their defense to make a stand. What a third quarter. All told, 28 combined points scored in the frame.
First and 10 from the 20. And he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Another great play from the linebacking core. Robert Kingsford was there.
Kingsford had a mammoth game here tonight. This will probably be the last play of the quarter upcoming here. Highland in a great position now with the Huskies chasing the sticks. The next two plays are crucial.
Stay tuned. After the quarter, we'll have a report from our own Jack Johnson. Between the next two quarters, between 3 and 4, 9 seconds to go. And they might not take a snap here with the play clock at 12 seconds, now 10, as the clock is going to expire here. The end of 3 quarters. The Hamilton Huskies 24, your Highland Hawks 21. Now we'll send it down to the sideline with our reporter Jack Johnson. Jack, what you got?
I'm right here with Deverin Carr. Deverin, you played at ASU, pros, but here at a Highland football game, you didn't go to Highland with the Chaparrals. What are you doing here?
Well, so I was invited by one of my very best friends, D'Angelo Dunbar. He told me to come out just to help him out with the cornerbacks, you know, just to kind of critique exactly what they're doing on the field and to let him know exactly what he can do better as a cornerback coach to get his kids to the next level, to get his kids to receiving scholarships as I did and as he did as, you know, a college athlete. And, you know, that's really what I'm here doing, just kind of scouting, just to see what I can help him with. And then, you know, obviously to relay the message on with the team, to let them know if it's a run, scream run. That helps out the defense. If it's a pass, scream pass. That helps out the defense as well. Again, I'm just here trying to, you know, give these kids all the knowledge about football from playing experience that I have, you know, and hope that I can help one at a time.
And I saw you coaching up Jay Sean Lee after the touchdown from Brendan Rice. You can talk to me a little bit about what you said to him, but say to our viewers just exactly the coaching advice you were giving him.
Well, he was playing his position as if he was, you know, in the middle of the field. I mean, he only got scored on because he was just a little bit too soft in the red zone. You know, they're on a 10 going in, and he's backpedaling. He shouldn't be backpedaling. I think he should be sitting and reading. And when that young man ran that comeback, he could have been right in his face. He could have intercepted it, or he could have got a PBU, but he was just playing a little too soft.
Overall, give me your thoughts of Highland as a team.
I think it's a very well-rounded team, very solid, have great athletes. The only thing is I just feel like, they got to capitalize on their mistakes. They got to wrap up when they make tackles. But other than that, very solid team. I just think they just got to keep going. This is a game that they actually could win tonight. They just got to continue to keep going, keep pushing, stay poised, and continue to give great attitude and great effort out there. And they can win. It's definitely a game that they can win.
Devin, thank you so much for your time and talking with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back up to you guys.
There again, the intrepid Jack Johnson up amongst it. As we head into this fourth quarter, it's just one of those games where it feels like every play is intensifying, the magnitude gaining with every single snap as we rush towards the finish line here from Chandler. 24-21. Arve, the quarterback. First and 10.
Second and 3 from the 17. Throwing for long for Rice, and he just finds his hands, and it finds the ground. Falls right through the hands of the outstretched receiver, Brendan Rice.
Arve put a ball where it needed to be, and Rice was thinking about the touchdown dance at the end of it. Just took off his eyes from the ball for one split second, and that's all it took. Such a high-quality player. A small mistake, and it could cost his team, as that was a chance to open this thing right up to start the fourth. Now it's 3rd and long.
Chance of overrated coming from the student section. Brendan Rice hasn't done a whole lot since the first half. Arve going deep again down the right sideline and overthrow again. Incomplete, it's 4th down.
Very lucky there. A coverage bust as Daniel Wood flipped his head around to locate the football. He pulled up, so did the corner. The receiver busted open at the last moment. Could have been a big play. The ball just wasn't on target, a little bit too high. And now Highland has that chance they've been seeking all night. They got the stop. Now, don't run into the punter this time, and you've got a chance to potentially take the lead for the first time tonight.
So they will punt it away. The punter is Colin Fuller, a 6-foot senior. Looks like Tyler Crandall deep to receive. The punt is away. It's not a great punt.
Woof.
Not a great one, and it goes out of bounds. Great field position coming for the Highland Hawks.
Off the side of his foot. Just didn't get a hold of that one. Slicing to the sideline. Colin Fuller with a mistake. Huge opportunity for Highland. Starting this possession already in the fringe areas of field goal range.
Can Highland pull out another big drive here? 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. A touchdown would take the lead, and a field goal would tie. 11:40 to go. 4th quarter, 24-21 in favor of Hamilton. Gailey takes the snap in the shotgun. 3-step drop, has some time in the pocket, going deep towards the end zone, and it's just incomplete.
Great effort by Crandall trying to run that one down. There is a penalty flag on the near sideline.
Double coverage on the far sideline, and Crandall couldn't come down with it. It'll be 2nd and 10, barring the penalty.
I think this one might go against Highland. What a hurtful penalty. You were already close to the field goal range of Jackson Ray. Now you back up another 5 yards. Give yourself a little bit of work here on a 1st and 15.
1st and 15 from the 35 now following the penalty. Takes the snap. There's Max Davis, finds a hole. Davis falls forward to the 25-yard line. Gain of 10.
What sensational balance by Max Davis. I thought he might get tripped up in the backfield. Plenty of arms whacking at his ankles as he bursts into the 2nd level, able to keep his feet, and that's been his best skill tonight, Alex. His balance has just been out of this world, able to extend runs, cut up to the next level, and make things happen.
And Peyton, those are what you call YACs, yards after contact, hit in the backfield and made it a 10-yard gain. 2nd and 4 now from the 24-yard line. A really big job done by Max Davis on his 1st and 15 play. Gain of 11. Takes the snap. Daly hands it off. This time Wood. Wood forward for the first down.
Really nice run by Wood, stopping and starting in the backfield. Locates the hole. Cuts up through it for the first down gain. A nice pickup and a great show of force and will on the last 2 plays by Highland.
And you can definitely see it's palpable, the confidence building on the Highland offense.
You can see it in the student section too. They know that the potential right here for Highland to take this lead is right on the doorstep. Highland just has to go seize it.
1st and 10 from the 19 with 10:39 to go. Daly in the shotgun takes the snap, hands it off for Wood. Wood spins off a defender, falls forward, just short of the 15-yard line. Well within the field goal range of Brandon Ray. Missed one earlier, but we think it was tipped.
Such a big game at the 6A level. Both these teams with state title aspirations. Highland, regardless of what you think of them, with all the question marks, they proved something tonight.
2nd and 8 from the 17, shotgun for Daly. 3 receivers to the left side, hands it off Wood. Wood trying to bounce it outside. He takes off a defender, but more are there, and tackled in the backfield.
Great gang tackling, plenty of silver hats at the ball as Wood broke the first tackle. And he's swung down in the backfield for a loss. We'll see how aggressive Coach Brock Farrell is here on a 3rd down. Does he risk potentially pushing his team out of field goal range or turning the ball over in pursuit of a touchdown, or does he settle for the field goal?
Victor Zayas was the person who made the first hit, or the hit that brought him down, rather, not the first hit. But it is 3rd and 11 from the 17-yard line.
Watch out for a screen potentially on this play.
Have to get to the 6.
Maybe a draw as well.
Empty on the top of the formation beside one receiver. One to the right now, motions. A receiver back to the right side of the line in the slot right. Takes the snap. Daly's going to run for it, and he pitches it to Wood, who falls forward. It's not going to be a first down, though. Well short. Tried some trickery there with the pitch back. Thought he was going to take it and run with it, Daly. Gave it back to his running back, Daniel Wood. Short of the first down, but they might have been setting up the hash marks there for their kicker, Ray.
Playing on the edge of risk and reward, Alex. A little speed option play. I've not seen them run that before. It was executed well, but a low-risk play if you know your team can execute it. That time they did. Nothing too fancy, and here we go. Field goal attempt to tie the game.
Andy Hatch will be the holder. The kick is up, and it is good from Brandon Ray. Tie ball game.
Huge moment for Highland, but in a way, a small victory for Hamilton after that bad punt backed them up. Could have been a lot worse. They could have surrendered the lead for the very first time in the latter stages of this game. They do not. A great stand by the Hamilton defense. Really nice offensive set from the Highland offense. And all of a sudden, we're tied at 24.
The time before the next kickoff, I'd like to thank a couple more of our sponsors, Nathan Davis Orthodontics, EduPoint, Samarca, and Arizona Granite Connection. Also some of our platinum sponsors, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. They might have a couple customers in the two of us later this evening. Like their chicken fingers. Ellsworth Home Service is another of our platinum sponsors. The Buffalo Spot Cards, Wires as well. You see them on your screen there. Some good eating spots. Desert Family Medicine, Gold Canyon as well.
Big fan of Canes right here. I was there last night. Maybe there again this night.
You never know. Some of more of our sponsors flash on the screen. It's great to be with you here from a beautiful night in Chandler. The temperature was over 100 at kickoff. 103 was the kickoff temperature. It's now down to a cool 97 degrees. But just a beautiful night for high school football. I'm used to being from the Midwest in Chicago, used to a lot colder games for high school football, but being from Arizona now, it's definitely a different atmosphere, but it's cool just the same. Less coats, more noise.
The energy tonight has been so good, especially considering the weather. You'd think this heat would just zap these kids, but I guess they're used to it. Just charges them up more, it seems like. The quality of play here tonight has been so good, especially in the second half. This is what high school football is about. when it comes down to it, wire to wire in the fourth quarter, who's going to want it more, who's going to execute better.
8:28 to go in the game. Fourth quarter, 24 apiece for these two squads. A big victory last season for the Highland Hawks, trying to make it 2 in a row. They won 49-28 last year, their first victory since 2004. Can they make it 2 in a row? The kick is fielded at about the 10-yard line, and because his leg fell down, Rice's did, it's going to be down at that spot.
And look at that, every single player on the kick coverage team running to the end zone, finishing the play. This team is straining to finish in the fourth quarter. But the fans here are chanting overrated at a man that is certainly not overrated. I would not poke that skunk. That guy is dangerous.
There's still lots of time to go as well.
Rice missed a play earlier in this game, in this fourth quarter, where he could have had a touchdown. A lot of times, great players will respond to a mistake by making something amazing happen.
Rice will line up out wide to the near part of your screen on a two-receiver set, moving one receiver from right to left. Takes the snap and flags fly. Armanta got the handoff, but it's blown dead and they might be moving back. We'll see what the call is.
I don't know, Alex. I'm not a coach. I'm definitely not the coach of Hamilton. But I will say this. If I were in the position, the coaching shoes, wearing the coaching headset right now, I'd go with a straight number 9 route, a straight fly route for my big receiver, number 2, Rice. You know, his confidence may be shaking a little bit. He may be motivated to make a play. They're leaving him on an island in press coverage. I just throw it up there. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games.
Deshaun Lee with him. Takes the snap, hands off the running back, right side. He's got some space. Now with some blocks, still going, and down at about the 40-yard line. Big gain there.
Counter play, haven't seen that tonight. We saw Clemson run that with Travis Etienne last night against Georgia Tech for a 90-yard touchdown. They took a play right out of the Tigers playbook right there.
1st and 10 now for Hamilton. A really good response there. They still haven't gotten Rice involved. He's on the near part of your screen along a 2-receiver set. The running back in there now is number 3, Zachary Lewis. Takes the snap. Over the middle, Arve. Looking long for Lewis, and he's got him. First down for Hamilton, and they're moving down the field quick.
Big hit, better catch. Arve is picking up the slack here on this drive. Lay the ball right in, put it on the chest of Zachary Lewis. Couldn't have put it better if he was standing right next to him. Lewis absorbs the hit and hauls it in. If you're going over the middle, you're going to get hit anyway. Might as well catch it.
2 plays, 2 first downs, about 50 yards in those 2 plays. Hands it off now. Armanta falls down for a gain of a couple.
Again, those linebackers for Highland have just been so good, coming downhill and dominating in the second half between the hashes. Now they just have to tighten things up on the outside, an area where they were so good in the first half.
And the Farrell's Fanatics getting into it now, jeering the other sidelines. We can't hear you. Got some good chance tonight. 7:09 left, 2nd and 10 from the 33. Arve takes the snap. 3-step drop, under pressure now, rolling out left side. Arve finds the check down route. He's got Rice to the outside, and he's close to the first down marker.
Rice has been productive in this game, but we haven't seen him put his signature on it yet. That play right there to move his offensive line, really good job in the scramble drill. We saw that play work for a touchdown earlier on in this game, just using his body to break back against the grain of the defense and make a play with his long arms and big hands.
1st and 10 from the 21 now. 3 play, 3 first downs. Moving quickly is the Husky offense. Leaving lots of time, though, for a response. Arve takes the snap, hands it off Armanta. Armanta trying to hit the outside, and he's there. First contact made, and he's out of bounds for a decent gain on 1st and 10.
What tremendous pursuit by Teak Treese and company as he comes all the way from the opposite side of the field to finally close the door on that play and get the running back out of bounds.
So a nice defensive play from Highland. 2nd and 1, a 9-yard gain. Arve with Armanta to his right, throwing a lofted ball to the far corner of the end zone. It's too long for Rice.
It was a fade route, just a little bit too much height from the long hash. You don't see that very often, that a team throws all the way from the opposite hash to the opposite corner on a fade. Right there, they were trusting the big receiver Rice, but Arve, you know, they say about quarterbacks on fade routes especially, you want to put the ball in a place where either your receiver can make a play or no one can, and that's certainly the case with that ball. 3rd and 1.
Another big play here in field goal range. So you might see him go for the field goal here if they don't get the first down. 3rd and 1 from the 12. The stands are shaking as Arve takes the snap. Quick drop, throws to the left side. He's got the first down, and he stood up after hitting the marker.
Really nice play design on the swing, putting athletes in space, making sure that the defensive backs are going to have to come up and make this play. We're not going to let the linebackers influence this play right here. Hamilton just dared the DBs to get off a block, and they could not in time.
Christian Anaya hit the outside on the bubble screen route. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9. 24 apiece. We're under 6 minutes to go in Chandler, Arizona. It's week 2 of the football season. We'll have a short injury timeout. It's week 2, Peyton, but it definitely feels like it's later on in the season. This atmosphere has been great. We've mentioned it at all of the games that we've called so far, Peyton, but this Highland student section and fan base really comes out to support their team, as do the home squad as well. We've got a packed stand over on the other side.
Well, Highland got to the state semifinal last year and tragically, as we know, lost to Chandler. This could be a playoff preview. These are 2 6A heavyweights squaring off toe-to-toe in the center of the ring all night long. And it feels like it is one of those playoff games. The intensity is right in this game. You just feel the electricity in the air tonight.
A nervous calm settles over the stadium in Hamilton High School. 1st and goal from the 9.
3 plays to get 9 yards.
Earlier in this drive, they had 3 plays that went for about 60.
Should be easy for them, right?
1st and 9 from the 9.
Not so. This is football.
Or not. Arve takes the snap, hands it off, bouncing. The linebackers are there. Make the tackle.
Let me finish that point. When the margins get thinner, sometimes the sense of urgency elevates, and this defense knows exactly what's on the line. So 60 yards means nothing if they can come up with one stroke of glory in the next 2 plays or so and make the play to change this game.
So they're going to say no gain, no 3 yards gain, rather. Now 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Arve takes the snap. He's pressured, and he goes down. Might be no gain or maybe a yard, if anything.
There's Teak Treese, one of these 4 horsemen. These linebackers have been everywhere tonight with their hair on fire. Probably, actually, it was not ruled a sack. I was going to say that might be the first sack of the night for this blitz-happy defense.
So a loss of a yard, it looks like. 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. Rice lines up to the near part of your screen with just Sean Lee on him. Arve takes the snap, rolling out right side. Now going back to left, he's taking it out of the end! They can't stop for Highland. It's 4th and goal. That ball came out. That ball came out. That's a fumble recovered by the Hawks. What a play from the Highland Hawks defense. They stood tall when they've needed to all night, and they come up with not just a huge stop, but a huge turnover. 4:36 to go, and Highland with a drive to win it.
Strong side blitz, and what awareness by this group of linebackers. I believe the guy who punched the ball out was Robert Kingsford. Came in with a club and really went to town on the pigskin, knocking it out of the hands of the quarterback. Recovered by the guys wearing white. What a play.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the spot of the recovery where he was down at the 17-yard line.
Well, Alex, I said earlier on that possession that we haven't really seen a sack today out of Highland. They got so many a week ago. We know this defense likes to pressure quarterbacks. What a time to finally come up with one.
Well, that wasn't just a sack. That was a strip sack. 4:36 to go. We'll have a short timeout. 24 apiece. Highland with the ball as we come back on the Highland Hawks TV network. Back with you here in Chandler, Arizona. If you've been with us all night, congratulations, because you've seen one heck of a football game. As we thank a couple more of our platinum sponsors, Abbott Granite, Lambert, Good Now, Injury Lawyers, Lamar Lamb, IND, and Deegan Construction. Go Hawks. Indeed, Peyton. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Now, though, they can't get too high. Football is a game where you try, the best teams do at least, to stay level, stay in the middle. You don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low. Right here, you just got a huge takeaway that flipped the entire tide of this game. You got an 83-yard march ahead of you to the end zone. Highland's optimal situation, they grind this clock down with 4 minutes and 33 seconds left, and they put it into the end zone to end this game. Right now, though, their sophomore quarterback has to dial his team in, calm them down, and get them to execute.
4:33 is on the clock. 1st and 10 for Highland. Moving forward for a gain on 1st and 10. And we're at the 17 to start. Gain of 3.
I like that play call on 1st down. Take it out of the hands of your quarterback. No mistakes. Put it in the hands of your running back, who's been so good tonight, and see what he can create on 1st down. A low risk, again, high reward play as Coach Farrell uses his leverage on 1st down.
Zach Schroeder lines up to the near side of your screen, along with number 11, Grayson Kennedy. Bailey talking to his receivers on the left side, doubles to each side for Gage Daly at the backfield. Takes the snap, 4-step drop, throws the bubble screen, coming back to it, he came up with it, and he was able to come up with it after bobbling it for a gain.
That ball came in hot as Daly zipped it in to the converted quarterback, Drew Tanner. Tanner, if he had handled that cleanly, he had a convoy, that might have been a huge play. But right now it's a 3rd down, and Daly, this offense has to execute.
Drew Tanner, the 6-foot wide receiver, changed from quarterback to wide receiver this year. Returned the opening kickoff last week against Alhambra, 95 yards for a touchdown. He would love nothing more. Take another one of those here. 3rd and 2 now from the 25-yard line. Sorry, Peyton. 3:07 to go.
I was going to say Davis is the back here, but they're going to take a timeout.
You've seen Davis in those situations as the 3rd down back. They've even given him a couple series as a whole.
Davis has been maybe the best offensive player here tonight for Highland. He's been consistent, delivered when they needed him to. But right here on a 3rd and 2, you're not necessarily in 4-down territory. You want, obviously, to move the sticks, but if you don't, it's okay. You punt. Low risk, high reward. I expect to see this ball on the ground here or something short or intermediate in the passing game.
And we've mentioned it a couple times. You can see it on your screen. 3:07 to go. As we'd like to thank a couple more of our sponsors. Ortho Arizona, Capital West Homes, Diversified Builders, Big Tree Landscaping, and Epic Systems, as well as Lancy Homes, Avenatti, Windows and Doors, Aspen Physical Therapy, East Valley Tires, Crandall Plumbing, Morgan Taylor Homes, Abbott Granite, Deegan Construction, we've mentioned them a couple times, and Metro Fire Equipment, IES, and Marlem Industries as we get ready for a big 3rd and 2 play. Daly rolling out right side, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
What a mistake. Daly was not ready for the snap. No one moved. Center just sent the ball in motion a little bit too early. A big snafu that'll cost Highland. Lucky that wasn't worse, and it resulted in a turnover.
2:40 to go. Clock is still running. And it looks like Highland will punt it away.
Alex, we've seen crazy things from this coaching staff on special teams. I'm not saying it will happen, but a fake punt is certainly a possibility here, depending on how frisky Coach Farrell feels.
Got to be aware of it if you're the defense of Hamilton, rather. Play whistle dead.
It came out originally in punt safe and shifted out to a different look like Highland always does, but they're going to call an illegal shift there, and I'm not sure why.
Well, these two sides are very accustomed to crazy things happening on special teams. The game last year was pretty crazy in that aspect. Both teams blocked a punt in the first quarter of play, although Highland did have theirs negated after a penalty. 4th and 13 from the 20.
I think the fake might be ruled out.
Punt is away.
Big boots.
Rice was back there, and it bounced out of bounds past midfield. So about where he was backed up to, that's about as good as you can hope for. Maybe 50 yards on the punt.
They're going to keep walking this forward, I think. They're going to spot it exactly at the 50. Not a bad punt from Jackson Ray, but Hamilton certainly in a good position here, starting right at center field with 2 minutes to move this ball and negotiate a field goal try.
2:07 to go, and an eerie silence comes over the sideline of Highland. Definitely some nerves here. Highland's got to come up with a big stop early in this drive.
Do they have one more play left in them?
Flags fly. And it might be a false start. That's a good way to start the drive.
Yes, it certainly is. Highland, you want to put them behind the sticks as a defense. It really lets you pin your ears back and get after them, preventing them from getting comfortable, the Hamilton Huskies offense. That's what you want. Now, a blessing has been given to this Highland defense. What will this defensive staff choose to do with it?
Arve in the pistol. They've been known to motion the running back as they do there. 2 receivers to the near side, including Rice. Throwing to the far side and incomplete. They might have gotten the completion, rather.
I think that's what's being decided right now. The dial it down has yet to move, but the team is up closer beyond midfield, and now they'll move it forward. I think it was a gain of 6. Maybe a little bit more even.
Be 2nd and 9 coming after the gain of 6 on 1st and 15.
Watch out for Rice.
Rice on the near part of your screen with Jason Lee, who drops back into coverage. Takes the snap. Gives the handoff on the jet sweep left.
A little bit conservative, but that's okay. You got plenty of time to play with your timeout still in your pocket. I believe they still have 2.
I believe Highland will call one there.
Interesting. Clock management in these late game situations is always a point of contention. When do you take the timeouts? Coach Farrell choosing to use them here before a 3rd and 5 to make sure his defense is set, ready to go as they attempt to get a stop.
Have to get to the 40-yard line. They're at the 45 of Highland. 1:54 to go. And that's what you worry about right here. If you're Highland, you have to stop them here, because or else you use all your timeouts, and then Hamilton can drive down the field and kick it with the clock expiring.
And that's the problem. Hamilton does only have one left. Highland, I should say. Right now, if they can't get a stop here, they can ice them one time. They can stop the clock one time. But Hamilton most likely is going to be able to dictate the terms of this final minute 54. A stop right here changes everything. Might be 4 down territory even if Hamilton doesn't lose yardage.
3rd and 4 now as it's ruled on the scoreboard from the 44-yard line. They got to get to the 40. Pistol formation. Rice to the near side of the field alone. The lone receiver blitz coming. Throwing to the left. There's Rice for the comebacker. 1st down.
He just sat down right in front of Jason Lee. Again, just use that frame. That route is unstoppable in single coverage looking at this matchup. Lee just is not big enough to deal with the size of Rice.
Brendan Rice definitely hasn't been the best player on the field tonight, but he's made plays when it's counted. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. 1:34 to go. Takes the snap, rolling out right side. It's coming and cuts it back, and he's taken down right around the marker. Line of scrimmage marker, that is.
It was risky. Arve took a big hit, and although I respect the toughness as 2 players are down, including Arve, and an injury timeout is signaled, You got to be careful. He's put the ball on the deck already twice in this game, and he keeps taking these big hits. It's a risk, and a Highland player is down in a lot of pain. I believe that's Cam Cullimore.
So 1:19 to go as there's an injury timeout as both training staffs come onto the field. Cam Cullimore looks to be the injured Hawk. He looks okay. We're also getting a look right there at the injured Husky.
Big collision there as Cullimore came in crashing, trying to stop Arve in his tracks. Both players kind of helicoptered in opposite directions as they splintered after the hit. Hopefully everybody's all right. That was a vicious knock they both took.
Cullimore walking back onto the field. Teak Treese, the injured Hawk on the plate. He walks off under his own power.
Grasping at that shoulder.
Yeah, took a hit high, definitely. 1:18 to go as the clock starts to roll. 2nd and 5 from the 33 as we begin action and play whistle dead. Both sides pointing.
Hamilton saying that there was encroachment there and the player was drawn off. The entire right side of the offensive line engaged like they were going to block. I believe this will be ruled a false start.
It is a false start penalty. So it's now 2nd and.
Hard to win that battle with the referees when your entire right side of the line jumps off. Could be a blitz situation here on 2nd and 10. If they're going to take a gamble, this might be the spot.
Deshaun Lee lined up near part of your screen with Brendan Rice. Arve takes the snap, 3-step drop, blitz coming, throwing one towards the far sideline. He's got his man and he's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown for the Hamilton Huskies.
Caden Hattendorf, the 6'2 receiver. The safety came over to cover that route. Just hung up for a second, ball washing a little bit. That's all it took. Hattendorf caught that thing and ran it in. 1:05 left in the game. It's not over yet, but certainly a big blow to Highland's chances.
Yeah, he beat two corners on the far side of the field. Created about 2 or 3 steps of separation between them.
That ball hung up. There was a chance to make a play on that thing, Alex. I just think there was a snap second of indecisiveness as the defender decided whether or not he was going to try and break it up or pick it off.
Gage Daly throwing on the sideline of the Highland Hawks. Trying to get ready to go back onto the field. The kick is good. 31-24. Hamilton Huskies with 1:05 remaining. And here's gut check time for Brock Farrell's side.
Drives like this are where legends are made and memories that last a lifetime occur. Gage Daly has a chance to do something very special on this drive. Can he settle down and do what he needs to do to lead this offense down the field? I don't know. We're about to find out.
It's a big spot entrusted to the sophomore quarterback. Directs traffic, and of course the receivers and running backs do get credit, but the quarterback is the one who directs the offense, and I know I don't need to tell you that, Peyton, and how important he is to this next possession.
You know, as a veteran team, the other guys on this group here for Highland have to rally around their quarterback and say, we're going to pick up our little brother. We're not going to let ourselves fail in this situation. We're going to, again, elevate and make something happen. You have to find that next gear. We'll see whether or not they can in a moment.
And it starts, Peyton, with a good return. Tyler Crandall is back there with the running back, Daniel Wood, to receive the kick. Here we go. Highland is the chance from the Farrell's Fanatics. Colin Fuller to kick it away for the Huskies. 1:05 to go, 31-24. The kick is away, and it looks like to be short enough for a return. Fielded by Crandall. Crandall at the far sideline. Crandall with some space, trying to cut it back. And I believe he's past the 20-yard line.
A good return for Crandall as he turned up the sideline and got some decent yardage. Now we're under a minute, 58 seconds left. Highland does have one more timeout. They're going to be forced to throw the ball vertically now, though.
Clock does stop on a first down play. So Highland will have a couple seconds to regroup if they get a first down, but if they don't, you'll see them take that timeout.
In these 2-minute drill situations, the first down is crucial. You get your wheels turning in the right direction. The clock stops for the first time, and you can catch your breath, take the moment in for a second, but not until you take that first step and get that first down. Until then, you're clenched up tight just trying to make something happen. Any pass inside the field of play, not beyond the sticks, will probably elicit the calling of that timeout, and they've only got one left.
And that first down, the first down is so important too, because you might see the defense come out into prevent coverage, trying to prevent the deep ball, so they might even give you 5 or 6 yards.
I don't know if we'll see that just yet, especially with how Hamilton has played this game with so much of their defense coming close to the line of scrimmage. But it'd be an interesting development if they did, if they drop into that prevent and invite Highland to make plays. A lot of speedy players for the Hawks that can do something when they get the ball in space.
58 seconds to go as Gage Daly walks onto the field.
Tanner Crandall's going to come out of the game here. He got banged up on the kick return. That's huge.
So Crandall, one of the biggest threats for Highland, the biggest returner from last season. 449 yards of receiving last season for Crandall, but he's out of the game now. Shotgun formation for Daly, 2 receivers to the near side. Takes the snap, Daly, 3-step drop, pressure coming, rolling out, rough side. He's got some room now, throwing one. It's a bit too long for the receiver, and it's incomplete.
Was not a bad idea. He saw the defense suck up towards him, saw check that Schroeder in some space, just couldn't quite steer the ball on target.
And Crandall back into the game now. I didn't see it, Peyton, but his helmet may have come off, which is usually a one play where you have to sit on the sidelines.
I think you're right about that, Alex.
52 seconds to go, 2nd and 10 from their own 22.
5 wide.
5 receivers for Highland. Empty backfield. Daly on the check down route. He's found him. He's out of bounds.
Oh, but this is coming back. A late hit by a Highland offensive lineman.
Schroeder made the catch, but it may very well be coming back.
Yeah, clear as day, just a mistake you cannot make. There is a conference going on, though, about what will happen. I thought it was a pretty obvious foul, if I'm being frank.
Still conferencing.
It's actually on Hamilton.
That's a big swing.
A defensive player for Hamilton was thrown down at the end of the play. The flag came out then. I figured that's what the foul was, but this is a personal foul against the Huskies.
So
a 15-yard gain.
15-yard gain, that's huge for this Highland offense. It was bigger than the reception from Schroeder, so they'll take the penalty. It'll be 1st and 10 now from the 40-yard line. 42 seconds to go. The clock runs and is quickly blown dead. About 4 seconds came off.
And Alex,
they'll conference again.
This is important here because now Highland with a first down is in Hail Mary territory. Daly has shown off that he has an arm capable of throwing the ball in the air 50 yards. All they need is this first down. Then they can just start taking shots at the end zone if that's what their heart desires.
So the ref's talking again. We'll see what comes out of it. They blew the play dead, but about 4 or 5 seconds came off the play clock in that time.
Are they going to reset the clock?
They might be asking for it. I don't know if any of the referees saw the time come off.
They're supposed to keep it hand timed on a stopwatch on their person.
So play is still dead for the moment. None of the linemen has taken their spots.
That could be huge. That's a play that's gone right there. It takes about 6 seconds to run a play.
So the clock is not reset. No, I think they are going to reset it. 46 is up there now, and they're trying to reset the clock.
It's a big swing.
Personnel changes for Hamilton. Jeremiah Trojan, the linebacker, comes off. And play resumes now. 46 seconds to go. 1st and 10 from the 40. Daly with pressure coming, rolling out left side. He's going to tuck it and run. Here goes Gage Daly up the far sideline for a first down.
Great awareness, nothing downfield. The young quarterback kept his eyes down the field, though, and took off when the moment presented itself. It's about the best possible outcome he could have asked for on that play, and now they can chuck it towards the end zone if they want.
And what you said, Peyton, it takes about 6 or 7 seconds to run a play. There was 39 seconds before they reset the clock to 46. After that play, there is now 39 seconds on the clock. 39 seconds, 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Throwing to the left side, far side of the field. He found Schroeder. I think he got out of bounds as well.
I like that. Clock running, though.
No, clock is running. He didn't get out of bounds. Highland thinks they got out. And timeout is finally called by Brock Farrell.
Oh, what a disaster.
That was about 10 seconds that came off.
Obviously not a death blow, but that certainly hurts Highland, as that was just completely unnecessary, the use of the timeout, the amount of time that ran off, because they thought their guy got out of bounds and it was not clarified to them that he wasn't.
No, I could be wrong, Payne, but isn't the referee supposed to make a signal very quickly to say if it was inbounds or not?
No, you are correct, Alex. And again, the officials have done an excellent job here tonight with how physical this game has been. They've done a great job of letting them play, but letting them play within the confines of the rules. I just don't know what happened here, but we are also standing a good 100 yards away from what actually happened and don't have the best vantage.
Got a low vantage point tonight. We do thank the staff and the athletic department of Hamilton High School for letting us come out and provide this streaming content for you tonight. It's been a fantastic evening of football here in Chandler in the East Valley. And we might have some more heroics here. 31-24 Hamilton with 26 seconds to go.
They have to get the ball to the sticks or they have to get out of bounds. Otherwise the clock's going to run and they're going to lose 15 seconds.
Gage Daly comes out of the pistol formation. Haven't seen this a lot from Daly. After the timeout, Daly fakes the handoff, rolling out right side now. Daly has some space. Daly gonna throw it deep for the end zone. Schroeder jump ball, and he can't come down with it. There was definitely contact, rolled incomplete, and no flags fly.
I think it was good coverage, if I'm being completely honest. Ball hung up, defender got a tip on it before making contact and broke it up. What a play coming in to save the day with Zachary Lewis. It was wide open. Daly just saw it a second too late.
The receiver also who plays DB, Brady Shaw, was there as well. And that was excellent coverage. I believe that we will win chance come out from the Farrell's Fanatics now. 16 seconds to go. It's 3rd and 5 from the 44-yard line. And it might be 3 receivers to the near side of the field, maybe 2 to the far. Can't quite see it. One running back in there with Gage Daly.
Could be a quick
16
out.
seconds to go.
Could be a quick out looking for the sticks in the first down.
Daly in the gun, takes the snap, 3-step drop, rolling out right side, pressure coming. Daly has to get out of bounds, and he checks it down, tries to get a couple, and he does. Pass is complete, he got out of bounds.
Got to
8
spike
seconds
quickly.
to go.
Got to spike quickly as soon as these chains reset. Get one shot at the end zone after this.
They're moving the chains. Did he get out of bounds, Payne? I didn't see it.
Yes, he did, and he got to the sticks. So I guess there is no need for the spike. But the play clock is running at 33 seconds.
So maybe 2 quick plays to get a touchdown for the Highland Hawks.
It all comes down to this.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. It's Zach Schroeder to the near side of your screen. Gage Daly in the shotgun with 8 seconds left. 1st and 10 from the 36. Daly, 3-step drop, throwing over the middle. He's got him! That's Grayson Kennedy! And he's inside the 10-yard line out of bounds.
There was 1 second. There was 1 second. Hamilton's taking the field like they won the game.
The refs are not dead. They think there's a second left. There might be 1 second to go. The whole entire Hamilton Husky team is on the field, but we may have enough time for one more play. It'll be seen here, and they're walking off. They might put 1 second on the play clock.
And that should be a 15-yard personal foul for having too many players on the field and having players without their helmet on the field. That's an immediate ejection for anybody who took part in that. I don't think it'll be ruled that way because of the chaos of that moment, but that is technically the rule.
And there was definitely chaos in that moment. It was a completion to Grayson Kennedy, and what a move over the middle. And just in enough time, he got out of bounds. There's 1 second on the clock. This is the game, folks.
Can't write it. Absolutely can't write it. What a game. What a story this has been tonight.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. What a moment here in week 2 of the Arizona high school football season. 2 receivers to each side, Schroeder to the far side with Crandall. 1 running back in there, it's Wood. Takes the snap, Daly rolling out right side. He's going to run for the end zone. There goes Daly, diving to the end zone, and they waved it off. Hamilton wins the game in a scorcher. It's 31-24, and the Hamilton Huskies are on the field. Daly down for the end zone. He might have been a yard short, and he's still laying on the ground. What a fantastic ending we had here at Hamilton High School. I don't think that the Highland Hawks can believe what they just saw.
Inches. It is a game of inches.
The referee had a very clear look at it. He was standing right at the goal line.
At the end of the day, Alex, it comes down to the smallest margins in games like this. Both teams deserve to win this. Unfortunately, one team had to lose. An inch short. It looked like Daly may have fumbled the ball into the end zone, but even still, that ball can't be advanced. What a game play today. All respect to Hamilton. What an effort from them. What an effort, though, from the sophomore quarterback, Gage Daly. Although it came at a loss, this guy grew up today. This is the quarterback of your Highland Hawks and will be for a very long time.
A fantastic game and a fantastic night. We thank you so much for joining us here on the Highland Hawks TV network. Jack Johnson is with us. He'll be working his sources down on the field, and we might have Coach Farrell coming up.
Just an excruciating way to lose. The joy of victory, the agony of defeat. This is what you live for, though, if you're a fan of this sport. The thrilling conclusions where men become boys and true stories are unfurled. It was an excellent night, and a night none of us will soon forget.
It's not too many times that you get a game like that in week 2 of the high school football season. But if you had the privilege of watching this one, we thank you for joining us tonight. It was a heck of a game here at Hamilton High School.
Just speechless after that one. It's going to hurt for Highland. Hopefully they are able to rebound next week. Just what a game.
The final score here from Hamilton High School, the Huskies 31, the Hawks 24. Jack Johnson is on the field, and we'll be going to him in a couple minutes. Ready, man. Still awaiting the end of the handshake line here as Highland takes spots in the far end zone from our position. 31-24 again, the final score here. And we had a lot of great plays in this game, Peyton, but none greater than maybe this last one here. A great goal line stand to deny the quarterback Gage Daly the end zone by maybe a couple feet.
Our producer Travis Whitaker just showed us the angle that was shown on your TV sets and computer monitors. I cannot recall a play as close as that. That was a razor's edge away from being in the end zone. What an effort by Gage Daly. Sometimes, though, you just come up short in life.
I'm trying to get the frame-by-frame look here. It's almost as clear as day. It's really hard to tell how close it actually is because of the angle the camera was at, but we went live to that camera right near where Daly was diving, and he was past the 1 yard line definitely. He's still in the air in the frame that I'm looking at, and the next frame he's on the ground, and it's so hard to tell. What a razor-thin margin, and it was that close to going to overtime.
Could not be closer. Absolutely could not have been closer. You only get to see things like that every so often, and unfortunately it doesn't bounce Highland's way tonight, but what a game.
And now we're going to go down to the third member of our team. Jack Johnson is with Coach Farrell after that stunner of a game. Jack, how are you?
The emotions obviously are a little bit down here, but I'm with Coach Brock Farrell. Coach, you cannot get any closer
Yeah.
than maybe a foot, 2 feet from tying this game up. So what was the message to your team?
Just that, nobody gives you anything in this world. You got to earn it. And we had our opportunities, and we didn't make plays at the end when we needed to. So, we just got to go back and practice. A lot of things we got to get better at. And that was a good team. They got a lot better, and they played really well. So, hats off to Hamilton. They're gonna be much improved this year, but we'll see. This year we learn from this and grow.
How proud are you, though, of your team? Multiple deficits in this game, at one point down 24-14. They never gave up, and they fought all the way, literally to the bitter end. Just how proud of you are your team for never giving up?
Oh, they're awesome. I mean, I feel like that's par for the course for us. These kids never give up. That's why I love coaching here. What it's going to come down to, though, moving forward is we got to execute and make plays when it's like crunch time. And, we snapped the ball on a play. We didn't even have a play called and should have had a first down. We give up a fade on 3rd and whatever for a touchdown. Like, you can't give up touchdowns, when we're trying to get the ball back. So we gave it up tonight, and it's probably stuff that's correctable, which is good. But, we got to get better, flat out.
Going this week in practice, what are the things you're going to try and fix that you observed from tonight?
At times, I thought it looked like we were tired, but this is the most we've played all year. Alhambra, I think our starters got like 12 plays, so I could tell about mid-third quarter we were tired, and apparently we got to rush the passer better because we didn't touch him all night. So moving forward, that's what we're going to do because Boulder Creek's going to sling the ball all over the place, so we'll see how that looks. So, yeah.
And the last question, Coach, we talked a little bit about your quarterback at the half. He looked very composed and comfortable on that final drive. He looked nothing to me like the part of a sophomore. What will be your message to him when you finally get to talk person to person?
Well, it's one of those things where he's a player, so he was, running around making plays because that's what he's done his whole life. He's probably not going to get a great grade from me because I want him to stay in the pocket and make throws. But I can't fault him for running around and making plays. Obviously played fearless, which I love about him. So.
Thank you so much, Coach, for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Well, it was about as close as you can come to tying up the game in one of the most remarkable finishes this reporter has ever seen live on a football field. From my perspective, guys, Gage Daly was about 2 feet short of a game-tying touchdown. Just about as bitter of a defeat as you can suffer here from Hamilton High. That's it for me. Back up to you guys.
Hey, Jack, thank you so much for all your contributions, working your sources tonight. You had about the best view in the house of that one, and you could see it right with Jack. Jack Lauderay is our cameraman down there on the field, and you could see the perfect shot on the broadcast of just how close Gage Daly was. We'll have a couple player interviews coming up in just a couple minutes. But Peyton, that was one heck of a finish we saw here.
Yeah, we just can't overstate it. You only get to, again, see things like that so often. That's why sports are magical, and I'm being hyperbolic here, yes. I'm overstating something that happened in a high school football game, but that's the magic of sport, those narrow margins in which incredible things can happen. That's what we saw here tonight. What a game, what a finish. Again, I just can't get over how good Gage Daly, after flubbing that play on a 3rd and short, where they didn't have a play called, as Coach just said, he takes the snap, runs around, gets tackled, and they give the ball back to Hamilton before they go down the field and score. A lot of young quarterbacks, that would hang over their head like a hangover. Daly shook it right off. He said, this is the time. I got to lead my team down the field right now, and he did exactly that. Just fell an inch short at the end.
And you grew up quick when you get plays like that, especially when you're a young sophomore and you're that close to tying a ball game like that. It's just sheer willpower to do what Gage Daly did, was tuck the ball, call his own number is the phrase they usually use, to try and get into the end zone. It was just a mad dash for the end zone, and that's going to be the play we're going to be talking about potentially for the whole season, Peyton, because if Highland ends up going far like they did last year, this is going to be one of the biggest games of the season, most likely.
Well, these are the moments that shape a team. Bottom line, there's 2 ways you can go after a loss like that. You can go up, you can galvanize yourself as a unit around this moment and make sure you do the little things so you don't put yourself in this position again. and you evolve as a team. You get better, or this hangs over you like a cloud, you fall apart, and you break down as the season goes along, and defeat compiled by defeat wears down the wherewithal of a team. I have a feeling, knowing these kids and this coach, it will be the first option, not the second. This will be a building moment for this team. They are not done. They're going to go and rally through the rest of their season and try and get things right as they pursue a chance to win a state title again in 2019.
You can follow the rest of Highland's 2019 football season as we go forward this season with all of the games streamed live right here on the Highland Hawks TV network. If you can not tell already, Peyton and I are vamping. We're waiting for Jack Johnson, who's going to be with Jay Sean Lee in just a couple minutes. But the position groups are still talking following the game, and the CBs are just wrapping up their meeting. They're on the far side of the field. 31-24 is the final score. It's on your screen. Just a couple more moments before Jay Sean Lee is with Jack Johnson.
Chewing the fat, that's what we call it where I'm from.
And where are you from, Peyton?
Knoxville, Tennessee. Tennessee, baby.
See, don't ever. It's the one first rule of broadcasting. Never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
That's very astute.
All right, and we are now ready to go down to Jack Johnson, who is with Highland corner Jay Sean Lee. Jack.
Jay Sean, you guys came about as close as you could to coming back in this game, but I want to talk about your performance. I know it's a tough defeat, but you really made a name for yourself tonight. You were going up against one of the best receivers in the whole entire state in Brendan Rice, and you got a lot of coaching from Devin Carr and your cornerbacks coach, but just assess your performance tonight.
Well, I studied a lot of film on him, and I was studying his routes and how he, get tired on plays and how he block and stuff. So pretty much I was just, trying to play my role.
And then your coach was talking to you about trying to keep your head up. You made a name for yourself trying to build off of that. I know it's tough right now considering how tough this loss was suffering, but do you feel any pride in your performance that you were able to pretty much hold your own out there on that side of the field?
Yeah, I feel some pride because, at first I felt a little shaky, but, I came out and I played my game.
Hey, talk about your sophomore quarterback. He made some plays coming down the stretch. He ended up about a foot short. He's a new quarterback coming in, but just how proud of you of your teammate tonight?
I'm proud of Gage. He got a lot of heart for a little guy like him, so, I'm proud of him.
What's your message going to be to him?
Message to him? Hey, man, just stay focused and be ready for the next game.
All right, and how about you, getting ready for the next game?
Yeah, got to study a lot of film this week, so come bounce back,
Absolutely. Thank you so much for talking to us, Jay Sean. Good luck tonight. That was Jay Sean Lee. It was a tough defeat for the Highland Hawks tonight, but he really put on a performance that was special. He got a lot of high praise from his coaches. He's getting praise from the athletic director right behind my cameraman right now. A lot of people want to talk to Jay Sean Lee. He covered one of the best in the state. And, guys, I don't know if we've covered this yet, but he covered Jerry Rice's son tonight. That is Pro Football Hall of Famer Jerry Rice. Brendan Rice, who's getting looks from ASU, Michigan, USC, schools all over the country. Jay Sean Lee, for the better part of tonight, locked him down. That was certainly an admirable performance for the cornerback, a veteran leader on this team. He doesn't say a lot, and that's something Coach Brock Farrell said earlier in the game, but a lot of people look to him for inspiration, and that's what matters. And you could tell the emotion was on his face, but it was a tough loss, but he performed individually very well tonight. Back up to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jack, once again, and it just speaks to the testament at what kind of young man that Jay Sean Lee is. It was an incredibly tough game, an incredibly tough moment in spite of how good he played here tonight, but a really great game for Jay Sean Lee.
Yeah, Jay Sean was pretty spectacular. That is one of the best players in the state, period. End of discussion. That's an All-American, a caliber guy that he guarded tonight in Brendan Rice, and he pretty much, for the most part of the game, shut him down. He put in the best shift he possibly could, and that's all that Coach Farrell could have asked from him. At the end of the day, what he did gave his team a chance to win tonight. He fought hard, and he did his job. He's got a lot to be proud of, and when Brendan Rice ultimately makes it and makes a name for himself, he's going to be able to tell his grandkids that I locked that guy up.
And he certainly did. We're going to go back down to Jack for one more interview. He's with inside linebacker Highland Hawk Cam Kellamore. Jack?
Yeah, Cam, just describe to me the emotions that are running through your mind right now.
I'm heated right now. We came out a little flat, started 10-0, and we came back, fought hard. We had a great week of practice. We got to come back stronger Monday. everyone's got to show up. Let's go.
Hey, talk about the fight in your team, though. You guys were down multiple times. At one point, 24-14, you were down in a 10-point deficit. But your team never gave up. You're one of the emotional leaders on this team. What's the message going to be to your fellow athletes?
Keep fighting. Have each other's backs. I mean, we came out fighting, and, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's hard to say we lost, but we did. We got to come back stronger and better for next week. We got Boulder Creek.
Yeah, so what's the attitude going to be in this practice? What are the things, technically, on the defensive side that you would like to see shored up?
More communication, leadership. We need, I don't know, more seniors to stand up and more juniors and even the little sophomores we got, because we need more leaders on this team.
Cam, talk about your teammate Jay Sean Lee's performance tonight. He really locked down one of the best receivers in the whole entire state.
I mean, yeah, he's a dog. I mean, yeah, he balled out and he got a good catch, but Jay Sean locked him up for most of the night.
And then my last question for you, Gage Daly ended up about a yard short. He's just a sophomore, but he looked composed tonight. How proud of your teammate?
I'm very proud of Gage. I mean, I thought he was going to struggle tonight, but he came out very strong, and he's going to be a great quarterback for this program, and it's a 50-50 call on that last play. So,
yeah, from where I was, he could not have been any closer. Cam, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Cam Collimore, starting linebacker tonight for Highland. And guys, again, I was about as close as you could be to that ending play. He could not have come up any closer. I don't know if he got in, but to me it was about a foot and a half away from tying this game up, and we may be playing football right now still. So I'll go back up to you guys for the final time.
Jack, thank you so much for all of your reporting tonight, and talked to two great young men here today, and Cam Cullimore and Jashawn Lee, both key cogs to this defense and locking up two of the best receivers in the state tonight in Brendan Rice, and just a fantastic effort tonight from the Highland Hawks. But the Hamilton Huskies came to play as well, and they come away with a 31-24 victory over your Highland Hawks. If you've been with us the whole night, we thank you so much for joining us on the Highland Hawks TV network. For our entire crew, Jack Johnson, Jack Lauderay on the Hollyland camera, Travis Whitaker, our producer, and for Peyton Gallagher, I'm Alex Gall saying good night from Chandler, Arizona. The final score, Huskies 31, Hawks 24. We'll see you next week.